Market just breaking back into positive territory to start things off here. There's a Nasdaq right now, 0.05, back to the upside we go as the Trump administration takes to the headlines, I guess, this morning once again, demanding that countries submit their final tariff proposals by Wednesday, coming up tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on any headlines coming out surrounding that. Meanwhile, lots of things moving around once again. I was just noting some of these oil names popping up in front of me here. Oil making a move currently, so we'll keep an eye on some of the energy stocks. Tesla back on watch, 0.3 to the upside once again this morning. As we were saying yesterday, it's an interesting spot here for the market as earnings have come and gone. We do get non-farm payrolls coming up at the end of the week. That'll be the next kind of economic key marker that the market will be looking to. But for the most part, searching for direction, I guess, after a bit of a choppy day yesterday. I mean, we had an initial move trying to get back higher, but we did fade out a little bit going into the afternoon. Yeah, you feel like this market's in a wait-and-see mode right now, Brenda, with a lot of economic numbers, as you mentioned, coming this week, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Lots to talk about today, guys. Meta in focus today, striking a deal with Constellation Energy to use exclusively one of their nuclear plants, so we'll talk about that. HIMS also getting a real big move up here, 6 1/5 in the pre-market as they look to expand their operations into Europe. Brendo, Nvidia being reaffirmed here as one of Morgan Stanley's #1 picks, and Dollar General 10%, really booming here on inflation and economic worries. Yeah, one of those stores that you would think might be a little bit harder hit as far as tariffs are concerned, but it doesn't seem to be the case as of yet. As you mentioned, CEG, the big mover so far today, it is coming back in a little bit right now, still up 10% here. And oh yeah, this is a $300 stock, so just a heads up, 340 might end up being a thing here, but just an absolute monstrous move on that Tesla headline this morning. So CEG, top of most people's headlines. Neil is back in the building. Hey. Good to have him back after vacation. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, everybody. I come back and y'all blew the place up.
Yeah, we told you, man. It's this is Studio 8. Studio 8 is kicking, man, right now. That was Obi. That was Obi that did it. He was rage trading. He just went and kicked all the windows out, and you know how uncontrolled Obi is.
Well, I mean, obviously, Obi being one of the more emotional people that you will find. I'm surprised there isn't a hole in the wall. Yeah. Okay, it's a minor beef, but like, I thought there was going to be a hole in the wall the day that I left. It's like,
there still is no hole.
And there's still no hole in that wall. There's been no Kool-Aid
taking down that wall.
Well, I mean, we could solve that problem in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think that would create a bigger problem. Right? Well, there's some electrical and stuff like that, a big pipe in the way.
Yeah, well, these things happen.
So the trip was well, I heard. Good weather, you were saying?
Budapest was amazing. The weather was perfect, and I was telling Sean, like there was one, like the Saturday was like the hottest day that we were there. It got pretty hot, but every other day was that perfect walking weather. Great city. I'll throw some pictures up for you guys at some point later when we get into things. But yeah, like it's good to get away. But what's crazy is I come back. And I'm like, oh my goodness, all-time highs here. And obviously we'll talk about Constellation. Like, just looking at Robinhood, like that continues to be an absolute moon to the upside. These nuclear names are still going. The quantum, I wasn't here yesterday, the quantum names went again. So it seems like it's more of the same. Like it's still pretty bullish.
Yeah, the market. I mean, we've been in a bull market for a minute. Tesla's been up and down. Nvidia's kind of back to where we were at the report here. We'll wait to see what happens around this 138, 137 mark. But yeah, then the Blue Jays swept the A's. They've been playing well. There's the taco trade. You heard about that? Taco stands for Trump.
Taco trade.
Yeah. What does it stand for again? Oh yeah, Trump always chickens out. So that's the taco trade. Yeah, someone just put a taco in the chat and we forgot.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, because every time there's a bad tariff news, you're supposed to buy.
Okay.
Because he'll, just like we saw yesterday, extension again after market to August 31st.
I like
for
it.
some Chinese components. So it's always like whenever he starts tough, it works out to be a chicken. But I don't know if that's true. I'm just letting you know that's what it is.
It is.
Oh, yeah, it's also Taco Tuesday. I said we'd get some tacos around here at some point. So.
I would be down with tacos. I had a lot of schnitzel.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, the schnitzel. Well, the schnitzel might be better than tacos.
It was out of control good. And the new thing is my daughter, and this is so completely random, my daughter is all of a sudden into handball. It's a story ball. So we were going to, usually we just sort of do whatever, like we'll end up at a certain place, and we'd done, I forget where we were in the day, like whatever, we gone to like maybe did the Citadel, whatever it was, and we're coming back on the metro, and we're always trying to find like where we're going to eat dinner. So my wife is looking up, she's like, oh, she finds a restaurant in a hotel.
Right.
So we just kind of we just walk into this hotel, we're in the lobby like eating, and there's these signs all around. And it's like
handball?
EHF or something. So it's the European Women's Handball like championships, like their premier championship, and they're all staying at the hotel. So there's like players going around, the games are on the TV. So we're watching the game as we're eating, and there's players walking around. She's like, ooh, this is a cool sport. It's actually a really entertaining sport, but now she wants to play handball, which
good.
There's no handball in Canada.
Isn't?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's a cool sport, though.
I know Randy doesn't have any opinions on handball, so.
So random.
Yeah, that's funny that you were standing at that, you're in that hotel, and it was the handball hotel. All right, yeah, that's great. Good to have you back. Yeah, it was good that Obi had filled in there. I'm not even here Friday, so Obi will be back on the air.
Tourney?
Yeah, she has a tournament there, yeah, up near Downsview. First big one of the summer. Okay, yeah. Oh, she was, we played last night in a 4-on-4.
Yeah.
She had a penalty shot. Oh, I'm going to get my wife to send it over immediately.
Joe will be salivating.
Yeah. Penalty shot, vid, please. All right, so back into the market. So it's going to be a good one. Nvidia's already up 0.56% here. The Nasdaq's just hovering around zeros. That should be a lot of fun. And Neil's back in the saddle, so we'll get some more action as far as that is concerned. Obi was very specific on the ones that he was trading. I think yesterday he's only traded Nvidia. The day before that, maybe it was Tesla or something like that, but we had some good trades. Yesterday, Tesla moved for us, or was it yesterday? It was $13 or $14. Was a good
that was
there.
a huge floor.
Yesterday, we had some great ticks yesterday. We had Google up at 170 short. Took a couple bucks off that. We'll see if that can happen again here today. DraftKings got smoked because there was... Oh, it's back. Did it get to 32 yesterday? I thought it did, yeah. 32 and change yesterday because there was the state of Illinois is putting a 25-cent tax on all bets, apparently. They didn't like that. So that was a bad story there for DraftKings. Up a little bit today, but relatively flat. And then, of course, man, it's great to see SMR. It's great to see all these other names really starting to blast higher here with that Constellation deal. I mean, sort of high tide lifts all ships, right? And so there it is right there, up to 344. Everybody we've talked to, this was always the best of breed, and it just continues to make new moves here. And that deal with Meta, I guess, normally when there's a deal sometimes, well, it's not an acquiring deal or anything like that. So I wanted to see what Meta was going to do today. Flat with the market. So Meta, huge retracement back up for Meta too. Wow. Some of these V-shaped recoveries that we've seen over the last month and a half has been quite outstanding. So, yeah, okay, there it is, man. Glad to have you back. It should be a good day. I don't know if we have Trade the Pool coming through, Mitch, or anything today, but if we do, that would be good as well. Nasdaq just making a little bit of a move down here. So we'll see what we do today, but kind of, I don't really have a bias one way or the other yet. So
it's hard to, like, I don't know, like, there's lots of continuation ideas out there, because like, you look at what happened in yesterday's trade, and it's like things are just breaking out tops, right? So the quant names were breaking out, and now the nuclear names are breaking out. I mean, Meta, wow. I hadn't even taken too good of a look at this one, but the action yesterday, like off of the open, my goodness. And then when a stock pulls back like that, usually, okay, well, it's going to be a boring day. And then it broke back out. The reversion of the reversion, as I know Obi likes to call it. And I know it's flat in here. Whoops. Oh, that's right. I had to fix the chart, so I'll do that. The reversion back in, and now all of a sudden you're finally breaking the level that I left as resistance at 660, which is kind of cool for this to be breaking out. But not everything, because Apple doesn't look as good, and Google still looks kind of meh out of the Mag 7, unfortunately. Yeah.
It had up to 170 was pretty good. Got to 174 or so. Okay, let's go. I bought some more Amazon yesterday, actually. That was
Memorial Day sale.
Yeah, if you need to get trade ideas, grab it right now. 28% off annual plans. Okay, TTV 22, TTV 28. Grab it from Trade Ideas. Right there. Okay, thank you so much for all the love there, Neil. Everyone's loving that Neil's back, so that is great. And yeah, we thank Obi for that. We'll get ready to rock and roll here into the morning with our watch list, go through some of these ideas and go back to the desk and see what the boys are up to.
Finishing my coffee, unfortunately. SOAR, S-O-A-R. Fill in your own jokes. Volato Group shares trading higher after the company announced its aircraft trading program delivered $25.1 million in revenue for the first quarter of 2025. So little one, SOAR, which is 1.5 million shares, 6% on the short side as well. Could be a little low float runner here today to keep an eye on. Yeah, we are expecting Mitch Hoke from Trade the Pool to come by in a few minutes, see what he's up to on a Tuesday. Again, we do get more employment-related data coming up Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with JOLTS, and then the weekly jobless claim numbers, and then obviously non-farm payrolls coming up on Friday morning, as they always do. The Fed funds tool, I went out late in the day yesterday, went out all the way to the end of the year. We're still kind of hovering around that 2 to 3 cuts. When they're going to start that remains to be seen, because the language that we're still hearing, we are going to get, I think, 2 or 3 different Fed speakers today as well. The language of late, the past couple of days anyway, still seems to be on the very, very cautious side.
Yeah, and like we're now kicking down the can to September. September and possibly December, a lot of people talking about, so we'll have to wait and see. There was a secret meeting that we didn't know about last week between Donald Trump and Jerome Powell in the Oval Office. We didn't know about that ahead of time. Interesting to see. Would have been nice to be a fly on the wall there to see exactly what they were talking about. Obviously, Donald Trump's been pressuring Jerome Powell to cut rates, which he has resisted. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that, Brendo. I think some of the numbers this week could kind of set the stage for what we may get. We've been waiting for some weakness in the employment market as a result of tariffs, which still haven't come. So either there's a delayed response, or they're not going to come. So let's wait and see what the Fed does.
And this is, kind of looking similar to what happened last year at this time as well. Remember, there was the 7 at one point that we were going to get, or 8, I think, at one point even. And then that got dwindled all the way down to 2 or 3, when all was said and done. So things change very, very quickly. But 10-year back to 4.4, 4.5, 30-year was flirting with 5 at the end of the day yesterday as well. So it's still a problem. And
people are talking about the 10-year being manageable here. What really is interesting, and what I don't think the Fed can control, is the 30-year. And that's the longer dated. We saw the weak 20-year, the TLT, the 20-year auction that was not well received a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of people talking about the longer end of the yields, Brendo, causing a bit of a problem. But the 10-year should be under control. Obviously, it's pegged to mortgages and pegged to other things.
Yeah, the market not buying the story at this point. We're just trying to get Mitch set up here, guys. But just from a high-level standpoint, market in a very, very interesting spot here. Just 3-4% really from all-time highs, but as we've been saying, kind of waiting for that next catalyst. Is it going to be non-farm payrolls? Is it going to be some sort of Trump, China, some sort of deal that comes across? Remains to be seen, obviously. Thoughts here, guys, on the high-level look right now?
Yeah, I just heard something about Google shares dropping.
I got to turn that up on my.
Yeah, it looks like. Shoot, I didn't hear the exact headline here, but looks like Google heading to the downside pretty heavily. A couple of points already, $2 down. Maybe they'll repeat it here, but not a good look. Well, I was about to talk about how the Qs were at a resistance level and not really doing much of anything, because maybe we were waiting for some positive tariff headlines here. But yeah, it looks like Google is taking it a little bit on the chin. All I was able to catch was perplexity. I had to turn my earpiece for the news. It's like way down.
Yeah, I didn't even have it up.
So I didn't even hear that. But not a good look early on here for Alphabet. It did take the markets down a little bit as we were trading off some of the highs just now. Like if you go look at the Qs, which I was gonna mention, like you're in a resistance zone that's been here for a while. I think we can all see this, 520, 523. Like when I left, that was resistance, and it looks like nothing has really changed, those low 20s. So for now, you're at least holding the line up at a resistance zone, but that is not necessarily a good start for us here if Alphabet's going to be dropping off. Yeah, holding down at 166.5, 1.5%. And look, the market was flat, and this was flat as well. But we were talking just a couple minutes ago, like, some things not looking as good as others on the charts. Like Meta looked fantastic there, but yeah, some weakness still coming in to Alphabet. Gonna have to probably add this one to the list because it's breaking the double bottom from Friday, and
166.
Yeah, I mean this is a flat bottom break too at 167.5 here on Alphabet. I think this is going to be if it bounces, play the short back into 167.5. Not a great look here. The market was starting out nice and flat, but here's the dipsy deal. We were just talking about how bullish it was, and all of a sudden you get that.
Okay, here we go. So here we go. Ready, Joe, for this? All right, so this is just last night. This is just 4 out of 4, quick little pickup. So here we go. I actually have a slow motion one as well. So it's just
undress.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I have one more here to show you. This is the slow motion version of it. Slow motion loading also. Here we go. Here we go, Joe. What? There's the one way. Boom, get the goalie.
Bye-bye. Oops.
And then there it goes. So that was pretty good there. Anyways, that was your only goal. So I was yeah, but there it goes, 165 right now to the downside. I mean, we're gonna have to figure out what this move is happening right here with Google, because yeah, it's really starting to affect the name. It's not really doing too much of the market. Obviously, we talked about Google and its positioning there in the Nasdaq. If you add Google and Google, then you'll get a big part of that Nasdaq. But there it is to the downside right now. So yeah, not great here for Google. Did you guys have the news up there?
I still can't see it.
Okay, yeah, let's go over to Brendo.
Yeah, keeping an eye out, guys. There's nothing yet on Google. We'll keep an eye out. Just hearing a lot of people talking about the fact that it is down and continuing to move to the downside. But in the meantime, as we mentioned, Mitch Hoke from Trade the Pool coming by to give us his take on a pretty interesting market setup here so far this morning, Mitch. We're just, as we were saying there, Google kind of jumping off a cliff a little bit. Not seeing any sort of headline as far as what this could be as of yet, but maybe we start with Google in general.
Yeah, Google, it has to, if it's doing this type of move, it has to be the DOJ concerns, right? The court case coming to an end, and maybe we're going to get a verdict pretty soon. I think at this point, you just continue to watch to see what happens. Google's out of favor here. You got to stay with what's in favor right now. This is a stock picker's environment, right? This is going to be very important as we get closer and closer to all-time highs. There's going to be less and less stocks that are making new highs, yet the market's going to continue going higher. This is what I would be watching for right now. I think it's very important to look for that. You'll see that there's less stocks making those all-time highs. You can do an easy search like on like VinViz, a free resource or things like that to try to find it.
I noted at the end of the day yesterday, coming off the back of what happened last week with Nvidia earnings, lots of major events for the overall market. Volume seemed a little bit on the light side. This is just a little one I was watching earlier this morning. CRDO had some news after the close yesterday, but volume seemed a little bit lighter to start the week on Monday. We'll obviously see how things play out going into the rest of today and the rest of this week ahead of non-farm on Friday. But give me your thoughts here on the lack of maybe any sort of major catalyst for the rest of this week.
Yeah, I think that's the important part. The only thing that I would be looking towards that could put a scare is maybe the jobs number on Friday, right? Unemployment data coming in. But other than that, I still see this kind of just stair step higher to all-time highs. I still think we're going to run into some problems at some point, but right now this market just seems like it wants to get back up there. And when the market just wants to continue lifting off, just like it did in the pandemic, a lot of people can hate the move, but it's still happening. So at this point, I'm just riding the trend higher and continuing to ride swings until things start to break. I got a swing on right now in nuclear stocks. I mean, you guys know I've been all over these nuclear names. I actually started to bring it up here in September of 2024, and it's just been an awesome trade.
Yeah, let's talk about a few individual names here. I mean, we mentioned that CEG deal going back to the beginning of the morning here, but which ones are catching your eye on the nuclear side?
I got it here, guys. I got a swing trade plan for you guys here. And if you guys show my charts right now, I can give you guys the trade that I have on right now. So I have NNE that I have on Trade the Pool, long from 29.95. Got this yesterday, looking for the move higher. Why? This is just a 9 EMA pullback daily buy, right? So you get a good trend, a good catalyst, the stock rockets up. It gets a couple of days pulled back. It undercuts like it did on Friday, and then I jumped on that trade now, looking for this to start working its way. I already sold 25 of my 100 shares. I got a nice 10% return on that, and now looking for a continuation move past towards 38 and 40. That would be 27% on this name from that entry. Really looking for it to pass 35 and start to break out above that. Once we get above 35, I think we can move to break even, but this trade is looking really good right now. Swing trade alert on nuclear stocks. And when we keep getting the catalyst game, this is exactly what we need to continue this story that's a hot story and pushing.
And one of those, as far as the management goes on that, one of those, once you get to that significant level where you can kind of take a little bit off maybe, and then, as you said, move to break even, is that something you just let go and see what happens?
Yeah, so that's the idea here, right? And so a lot of times with my swing trades, I'm 3-to-1 outlook. I'm trying to get that nice return, right? And then when I get a trade like this that can easily go towards more like a 6-to-1, I can take half off and let that remainder run. What I'm going to be looking for is following the trend, right? You can use a moving average or some form like this to start seeing the turn and when you want to get out. If I'm using the 9 EMA pullback to get in, I'm looking for a breakout above resistance. And then when it comes back to that 9 EMA, I'll look for that 9 EMA to hold. And if it undercuts, I can get out, right? And so this is a kind of a trailing stop method.
TEM, another one on your list today, had a huge day yesterday, opening basically top end of that range. What are you seeing here?
Oh, this one looks like it's trading more on a monthly chart than a weekly or a daily chart. So this is what I would see. I'd see a nice trend line that you can draw all the way back from September 24, and we're looking like we want to break out above 70. This name seems like it wants to get back there to the 90 where it was in February, and if it gets back to that 90, I could see 100 all over this name. TEM just recently put out some news. It was surging after the company introduced XM, a new liquid biopsy. And so this is where it's at, guys. You got to look in healthcare and AI. There's two other names, of course, that are in healthcare that have been doing really well. One name that is being watched by tons of the big traders, you know, those market wizards, Grail, G-R-A-L. That one I brought up last week, and I'm seeing it start to form here. It looks pretty nice also. It's starting to try to break. This is more on a daily pattern. It's kind of in this kind of wedge pattern. If it could break above the 45, that's the real breakout signal in this name. And then did you see the move on HIMS this morning? Ooh, I was trading HIMS yesterday. I was watching it this morning, and all of a sudden I saw a spike, and I'm like, that has to be news. This has to be news, and exactly what we got this morning. HIMS getting some news this morning. Nice rip higher. Now the cup and handle pattern on this trade looks really good, guys. I don't know if you guys see this, but if you zoom back on the daily, this looks like a perfect cup and handle pattern. Now I'd like to see the stock break out above the 64.50s, and if it could do that, it could really get going here. The way that I'm looking at this is that once it breaks like 64.70s, you're going to start to break kind of the neck, the pattern at the top end of this cup, right? And that's where you want to see it break above. How we could do a measurement of a potential return on here is to measure the move down from the 64.50s down to that 25.40 level, right? And then what you're doing is you're using an extension away from where the handle is that could potentially bring this to like 102, right? And so this is a really nice outlook. There's a lot of things working for HIMS right now. You got a volume pattern working well here. The MACD's turning up and histogram improving. RSI reset. We got this great sideways pullback that reset the RSI from 70s now down to 40s, and you're starting to see it rise. This is a great stock to look at, guys. These are the names you want to be watching. And just yesterday, did you guys see AI infrastructure stock APLD, Applied Digital Corporation?
Mitch, you're reading my mind. I was actually just going to go to APLD here. And it was the simple fact that outside of the Mag 7 or Tesla or whatever, the big names, it's very rare that a stock will pop up on Google Trends in the top 10 as a search term being searched throughout the day. And APLD was #1 at one point yesterday.
That's what it's all about. This is why I was bringing this stock up yesterday morning when we started to see it rise. Now, I will say I missed the swing on this one. I wanted to buy it yesterday at the open. I was looking for any red to green action. We didn't get a single red to green action in this stock. It was a straight rip higher. How do you do that? You always look for small stocks to team with a big stock. What are the hottest stocks right now? Of course, CoreWeave. And we've been talking about that one since 2 weeks ago on Thursday when it started to get more and more mentions of OpenAI and Nvidia. Of course, what do? You just follow the trail. You mentioned CoreWeave. Look how the investors are going to come pouring in for APLD. I'll still be watching for today, but I think we might get an inside day today. So this might be a trade later in the week to look if it can stay hot.
Lots of people looking for that next play. Guys, scan that QR code if you want more info on Trade the Pool. What's happening over there this week?
You know it. We got those new swing plans. That's what I'm trading here. A flexible account and unlimited time. That's what I really love, because then that's when I can just go really patient on taking the swings. Only when I have those rips, 90 EMA pullbacks with a good story and a hot stock is the stocks that I want to trade in this account. That's the important thing. If you can go ahead and have those different accounts where you're only trading specific strategies, I think this is what helps us to focus in and really get those returns we're looking for. And have you seen those cybersecurity stocks? I mentioned them about 2 weeks ago. Snowflake up 16% since we talked about it on, of course, May 13th. Wow. So going to be continuing to watch here. These cybersecurity names have all these bigger traders in right now. Zscaler, Snowflake, and I'm even looking for PanW to break the 200. CrowdStrike earnings coming in, so be careful with that. I think we'll wait till we get through that to play a little bit more in CrowdStrike. But cybersecurity is hot, and this also has to do with what? The theme in all my themes right now. It's AI, baby, and we got to find where we're going in AI. Not large language models, but actual revenue-driving products.
The theme of themes, speaking of this Google headline, Apple chit-chatting with Perplexity, apparently, on going in that direction instead of with Google search. So that was
Apple's going to use their cash. I think that's how they're going to come back in AI. So Apple might say, well, we can't develop it here because it's going to cost too much. So what do? We go look for an acquisition. We have cash. Let's go spend it wisely.
Which is kind of interesting because correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the founder of Perplexity actually came from Google and left their project initially and went over
Google,
to start Perplexity.
What's going on out there?
Losing on both ends. Mitch Hogue, always great insight. Good to see you.
Have a good one. I'll see you guys on Trade the Pool.
Thank you very much. Shout out to Mitch. Yeah, that news by for Alphabet, right now it's actually coming back a little bit, so that's pretty good for it. Yeah, but as he mentioned, look for those smaller names that are teamed up or associated with the big ones that are running, because as you mentioned, CoreWeave, that has been an absolute runner and has a chance to break out again, because why wouldn't it? Like, you got to be kidding me. It tagged 130 while I was gone, because obviously it does. And each time it's had what you think looks like a bit of a correction day. And I know because I remember seeing it kind of fail that 110. It's like, oh yeah, that could be a bit of a pullback. It's starting to look like it might want to go into a dip. Nope. Right back into highs. Another big red and right back in retesting some of those highs. A little bit of trouble the last time it did this pattern, breaking it the first time or holding too far above it, but I think this 130 looks like it could be in play. Maybe not today for CoreWeave, but certainly that runner coming right back in. This stock's been an absolute monster, but there's so many monsters out there, and sometimes they lead to upgrades and downgrades.
They do, Neil, and we have quite the stacked list today. Evercore ISI upgrading Block up about 3% this morning, so keep an eye on XYZ. Pinterest is here up about 4%. JP Morgan Chase upgrade, you can read more about that in our watch list. Netflix has been on quite the run lately. $1,400 price target here with this upgrade from Jefferies Financial. Last but not least, one of last week's many earnings names, CRM, Salesforce, with a Cantor Fitzgerald upgrade. On the downgrade side of things, ASML kicking it off here. Barclays giving this one a negative note. Bumble getting downgraded by JP Morgan Chase. We have HSBC with a BofA Securities downgrade. Last but not least, Jefferies here chiming in on Rio Tinto to the downside. Back to you.
It is kind of a stacked list. Block is actually sort of breaking out, believe it or not. Okay. Yeah, this stock it hasn't been the best for Block, and obviously, let me go to my E-signal chart so you can see it, because ours are going to be not adjusted to the new change when they went to XYZ and decided to be all cute about things. But there you go. Like, it's been nasty for these bad boys. But suddenly, on a weekly, if you can hold on a weekly chart above 64, then you're breaking sort of this bottom little consolidation, a double bottom here on the weekly as well. And where are we? Well, we're at 64. Right at that resistance level. On a weekly chart, it's not breaking out till it closes above, so don't at me. But 64 does look like a pretty good breakout level. I don't love the volume here, and I just like Robinhood better. And I think that one's going to be the fintech name in play today. But yeah, good look on XYZ. I think this could be interesting. If it closes this week on strength above 64, I think you got something here.
I want to look at CRM. I mean, we had a bad earnings report from Salesforce. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It's just more of the reaction, bless you, that happened to Salesforce as we had made that move down in from 275 back into 260. And we said we'd let this one sort of calm down a little bit. We didn't get really anywhere near the lows there. So, and now you get upgraded. So maybe we get that upgrade. We'll see if we can break through 270 and maybe we buy some more Salesforce. I mean, this could be a good level. They're doing a lot with AI, and that's going to be that agent force. So I think Salesforce today, although it hasn't had too much volume, only 18,000 shares, I think this one works. And this could be a good break level here on Salesforce. We had some good calls on Elf Cosmet, Elf Beauty the other day. This looks like a decent level, 263-ish, to see if we can get above there. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, we kind of ripped up before dipping, and then he had that huge move into the close on Friday. So yeah, maybe a 263-ish or so area for CRM gets that name going. I think it's worth a buy down here. A name that we want to pick up. It's a best of breed name here in this space. You have HubSpot as well, I believe, is another one. HUBS as far as customer relations management and things like that. So here's another one, Hubs. You can see there. So they also had a little dip off of the Salesforce earnings, and them still same. Actually, looks very, very similar at the 50-period moving average for HubSpot. So yeah, I like Salesforce on that list. If I was going to choose any of them, probably be that one, and maybe an investment there. Into a longer term account or something. But yeah, just hearing something about Micron, because Micron yesterday chart was absolutely insane. We had that good short at the end of the day at $99, but this just kept on going up, and then eventually we had that on the way down. So we actually had a good move, breaking that 50-period, boom, to the downside. So yeah, so far so good. I wanted to check out Apple. We're going to go through our watches in a couple seconds, so all these names will be on there. Apple not moving too much on that Google news. And I think it's just a rumor, obviously, right? So Google comes right back up now as if nothing really happened. Still down 1%, so it's not great. But we are already sort of trying to break lower in the beginning. I actually really like that 168.50 break, but then that happened. So there it goes downside. We'll be watching out Google, a new entrant into the space here today on that downside play. With the market being flat today, man, I wish it had more of a direction, that I'd be more biased one way. But for right now, we'll figure it out. It's Google downside, down 1%, leading the market that way. And I think maybe Nvidia might be one of the better long ideas with Robinhood. So we'll be talking all about this as well. So we're sitting tight for now. Tesla's moving around. They're all going. So all right, let's go back over to the desk and start our rundown.
59.47, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES June contract, with the overnight high being 59.49. So we're clearly using that 59.50 area as resistance. We'll continue to use that until we break it, and decisively. If we do break it, we're still looking at 6,000 as resistance, and to the downside, we're going to use the overnight low 5,900 as support.
As always, if you haven't done so yet, jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will get you to that sign-up page for the watch list. Super easy. All you need is an email address, and then you get everything you need to know in the pre-market sent right to your inbox every morning before we come on at 8:30. Meta had a pretty impressive day yesterday, going out basically on the highs. We're flirting with that right now, hanging out basically flat on the day, 0.02, but hanging out around that 670. CEG, my keyboard is not working. There we go. 11.3% on a possible deal with Meta here.
It's a great look here for both companies. Brendo, let's talk about it. Meta signed a 20-year deal with Constellation Energy to purchase 1.1 gigawatts of nuclear power from the Clinton Clean Energy Center out in Illinois. This is all starting June 2027, so still a ways away. The deal secures the entire output from the Clinton single reactor, and it prevents its potential closure. Terms of the deal were undisclosed, but it will also expand the plant's capacity by about 30 megawatts. Meta won't actually use the power directly that it's going to get from Clinton, but it will use the purchase to offset emissions via the regional grid. This agreement supports Meta's goal, obviously, of achieving 100% clean energy across operations. Some other big names that have already signed on deals: Microsoft signed a 20-year deal for 3 Mile Island. Google committed to funding 3 new nuclear sites, and Amazon invested about $500 million into SMRs. So they are certainly not the first, and this is obviously a growing trend. This is Meta's first nuclear energy agreement, though, Brendo, although the company had previously sought proposals for 1 to 4 gigawatts of new nuclear generation. Meta remains in search of advanced nuclear partners, signaling continued investment. You feel like this is going to be a going theme for a while. They're talking about China adding huge amounts of power to their grid, while the States has only about maybe 10% in the last few years or something like that. So you feel like there's a lot of catch up on this side.
Even with Meta remaining the open source AI, they've been very active on this power side of things. So it points to maybe more to come. Just be aware, AVGO ahead of their earnings, Broadcom unveiling a new device to boost AI chip performance. So big day yesterday for Broadcom, just breaking out, just took out that 250 here as well, guys.
We were waiting for that yesterday. It didn't come through, but nice to see that happen.
Yeah, good to see it happening. But the nuclear's got to be in place. I see that. You see that headline, 1.1 gigawatts. All I remember is the first place my mind went to. I turned to Sean. I go, 1.21 gigawatts was the amount of power the DeLorean needed, which apparently is a ridiculous number.
Must be a huge number.
Obviously, just obscene number. If Meta's going to be purchasing that here, obviously, this is a good sign. And the entire group's going to be up, right? At least, Constellation, Vistra, all that. But it's a good sign for the health of, I guess, the growth that everyone's talking about in AI. It's just more proof that they're not going to stop spending and they're going to continue going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny. Now, CEG in particular does have a current rejection of its 52-week high in here, which is right about 353-ish. And you've already seen it sort of pop, lower high underneath that. So I think you got to be over under at the 353. I was looking more at Oklo and SMR today, like the sympathy plays. And we know those have got the big short floats, and they tend to move around a lot. OKLO here. Obviously, it also has a resistance spot that I think it could get to on a challenge. 52-week high sits at kind of about the 58 level. I think you have a chance to be able to test that one there today. So I'm looking for a continuation on Oklo into the 58. The dip into prior highs is usually the way I like to go. So I got 54.3 here and then 53 into the prior highs from yesterday, and we'll look for some dip buying action on OKLO. But the Constellation looking good. I like what this means for the overall space. I think it's as great. If you like GV, they look a little bit better today than they would have yesterday. Same thing with Vistra. And for the hyperscalers, they just continue to be able to drive others. And man, HIMS is still going.
Yeah, GV all-time highs, I think now, 490. That's a good one. Yeah, look, I mean, Meta, we missed the boat, really not getting long this one a lot longer ago, but you're starting to break above that 650 mark right there. And today it looks like we solidified that. We talked about trying to get some of this through this coiled up area right there, and we had topped out at 665 or so before. Now today we'll open up at 670, if not higher than that. With Meta not doing greatest today. I mean, it's only a 0.16. They can fade out with this market. So I think you want to wait. I mean, if you can get a 650 fill, that's not going to happen today, but that's, we've well blasted higher. Whenever there's kind of a gap like this, we always say wait for VWAP, but that's not much of a gap. So then looking back yesterday, where did we want to get long? I mean, there's really, I don't see too many areas right here. We're actually right at the closing price. We did have a little bit of a dip down there right into the close and then a move back, got back half of it. So I think you may just want to look to maybe break this thing longer, but just because they got a deal done doesn't mean that this stock needs to be shooting up like this. It was already a huge move from yesterday. I'd rather wait for Meta to come back into 650 again. SMR, I think you take out that high one more time, that high right there. And this is just if it, we need to, that's 37. I'm not talking about that one, but what about a 35, 35.25 or so for SMR. We're not obviously not there yet. I think this pre-market break is probably something that we should take. 34.75. We were just long SMR we were short SMR the other day around 36, which was a great short for us. Not able to hold it overnight, and of course that goes all the way back into 30s. But right now, a nice move there for NewScale, NNE. We had Mitch talking about that as well. Oklo. I think that right into here, a good spot to buy SMR, 34.75. So let's wait to see if we can get something going. But to me, that's a good buy zone there, 34.75 for SMR. All right, Apple just a few days away. I think it's June 9th for WWDC, so next week, Monday, I guess, and we'll figure out what's happening with that. June 9th, wait a second. What day is June 9th? That's what we had written down. 9, Monday.
Yeah,
okay,
Monday.
yeah, that's right. Okay, good. I was going to say, is that a weekend? All right, let's go find out what's going on with WWDC and Apple. Above 200, I like it.
Yeah, on the back of this note this morning, might be a little bit more interesting. Coming up, as the guys were saying there, next Monday, this WWDC event on the AI side of things. Again, if you missed it, it's Bloomberg reporting it, so take it for what it's worth. Talking to Perplexity on the search side of things. But I mean, you were making a good point in that maybe they just go down the road of maybe it's one of many that are on offer.
Well, when you sign up right now and you get a brand new phone brand new and you're setting it up, they offer you DuckDuckGo, Bing, Google, and others as your default search engine, and you can choose whichever one you want. So maybe stands to reason that you do that with these LLMs. Let's talk about the JP Morgan headline, though. Reiterating their overweight rating on Apple with a $240 price target, obviously implying an upside from the current 201 level. Expectations, though, for the upcoming WWDC event are, to be nice about it, quite modest after the debacle last year, with analysts highlighting incremental rather than transformative announcements. Some of the things we could expect here at WWDC is to expand AI LLM integration beyond just ChatGPT, possibly including Gemini partnerships, Anthropic, and others. Some key updates that may include on-device LLM access, Siri upgrades, and native app AI feature enhancements, also potential but less likely. News on Apple Intelligence in China. We know that they need a partner there. I think they're teaming up with Alibaba. We also are waiting for that North American Siri rollout, which has been kicked down the road now to 26. Apple clearly lags behind its peers in AI, but is seeking to reassure investors with steady progress. There are some silver linings, though, Brendo. App Store revenue grew 13% year over year in May, bit better than the 12% in April. Evercore ISI also reaffirming outperform rating on Apple with a $250 price target. Likewise with Goldman, buy rating and boosting the price target from 240 to 253.
I think the most important thing I mean, I said this yesterday, but the most important thing will be how many times do they say coming later this year?
I don't want to hear any of that, Brendo.
At WWDC.
I don't want to hear
that should be a T-shirt. Apple AI coming later this year.
I got allergies to that after the fiasco of the AI rollout last year. Oh boy.
Hey, it's green, guys, to start here.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially the same as the market, more or less. It's slightly better. Like the ES is down like 0.09 and Apple is up 0.02. So it's not crazy, but hey, it is green. And as Sean mentioned, it's above 200. Like when you pull up the chart, look at the 15-minute. Like there's been a lot of over-under action at the $200 level. And usually when it respects it for the day, it's a good level to trade that day. That said, last week, 197 was a biggie at the bottom. Like you had the low, the bottom range of the low, turn in resistance into support twice. So even if you lost 200, you still have 97 level. But yeah, like looks like a pretty simple 200 over under. Like I feel a lot better about this than I do about Alphabet, which we're gonna get. Alphabet, which is next on the list here. So the 200 looks like it's a good one, but even if you lose it, 197 looks like a pretty solid support level. I just doubt that the next two names on the list are the Mag 7 names that I think I'll be trading today. So Apple might not get in there unless it's something really clean later on in the day.
Yeah, so I mean, I have Nvidia and Apple on here. I have Apple as a number 2 idea for today. I think it can go higher here. So I wrote down, we're going to look for $200 as well for the long, but what about $200, 202.20? Just this high rate there that we sort of made into the close yesterday. I think we can take that out. So, with Apple moving into WWDC, we'll see obviously how it trades, heading into it. still 4 days away, so 4 market days away, right? We don't have to worry about this till next Monday. So I think this is a break long, 202.20, especially if this market wants to go, right? All right, so I just want to say something here. I just asked Rock, Apple went up after last year's. After WWDC was held June 10th to June 14th, Apple stock closed at 193.12 on June 10th and rose to 212.49 by June 14th. So if Sharif was unimpressed with last time's WWDC and the stock went up 10% in 4 days, imagine if they have something actually good to say. So that was 10% in 4 days off of last year's WWDC that we're mocking right here. I would say that, imagine they actually have a good WWDC. You know, so I think Apple has a lot of room to rise up here. If they didn't say anything last year and we went up 10% in 4 days, then let's see what happens this year with Apple. I'd say you're thinking definitely of buying this name down here in and around 200. So for me, it's a buy on Apple all day at these levels. No questions asked.
All right, Google just hanging out here on the way back down a little bit. We're back below 167 currently, but in a bit of a choppy mess currently, down 1.2%. Again, if you missed it, Bloomberg with a report, quote unquote, suggesting that Apple is talking to Perplexity about adding Perplexity on the AI search side of things to their platform. Obviously not good for Google, which is currently the main search.
No, Brando, and it's not just Apple, and it's not just Bloomberg. Now, Bank of America, BOA, reporting that Samsung now is speaking to Perplexity, which could also hurt Alphabet here. So BOA notes that numerous press reports indicate that Samsung is in discussions on a possible partnership with Perplexity AI, including potentially becoming one of the largest investors by investing about $500 million, evaluating a startup here, a joint venture between the two, about $14 billion. So we'll have to wait and see whether this all keeps coming in. But you were telling me off camera yesterday about Gemini 2.5, where you got it on our system here. I was giving it a try yesterday. Quite robust and quite fast. So I don't really have anything bad to say about Gemini anymore. It's been really updated well.
They've come a long way. I think there's still some certain things, the depth of which research will come back to you. I still find I think ChatGPT is better, but like maybe coding, things like that is a little bit better in Gemini. But 1% downside now, guys, for Google.
Yeah, like it's unfortunately, it just looks very bearish here relative to everything else, and part of that's going to be news-based, but that is what it is. You just broke down what was a double bottom Friday and yesterday, 167.5, and then you go back into the week before, back in 23rd, and that was another support level. It's probably closer to 168 with some wicks underneath it, so I think you got to give it some wiggle room as we pull back up here. Like VWAP will sit pretty much, I mean, right now, the volume weighted average price on Alphabet's going to sit right at those levels, like just underneath the 68. So at the open, if this can't reclaim and hold above VWAP, I just think Google's a short today and underneath that level. And like we said, unfortunately, they're a bit out of favor. You heard even Mitch say that. And yeah, everyone seems to be taking aim at them. And sometimes you get out of favor for a while. Apple had this, and Apple was out of favor for a bit. And the stock is starting to make a little bit of a venture back, but underneath the 200-period moving average, underneath those prior support levels, unless you start to hold above 168 or even a little bit higher than that, then yeah, I want to be shorting that one today. Things can change. I mean, I hope it goes up, but for now, this one looks like a short.
Just responding to some X posts. All right, so Google right here. Yeah, I mean, interesting move. Come on, Apple. Load that chart up for Google. I mean, here we go. So it's the same kind of a play again with earnings. I mean, when there's a gap, we'll try to play to VWAP, and that's exactly what just happened right there with Google. So it just came right back into that level. Look, I sold this 2 weeks ago down at 160, 161, or 160 and change. And it's been a bad sale, but this is part of the reason why is just that, we got to just figure out what's going on with their AI. And we already know that they've got a lot of great products. They had their AI conference last week and, sent the stock upside. We got to 174. But, I still worry about their search. I do worry about, a headline like this where all of a sudden they're just Gemini and their large language model just isn't chosen. And there's just so much competition. So I don't know. I am a little nervous about Google here today. I think it's going to be a short. I'd rather wait to sort of see if we can get back up to 168.50 or so. That would be a nice one. Yesterday we had, I mean, thanks to Obi for all of his nice words and everything yesterday. But we had this trade right there at 170, which yesterday happened real early for us. This I didn't even update this chart. So that's the 170 short yesterday on Google that happened real quick. And we were already looking short yesterday. There it is right there. So there's 170 that we had yesterday. It goes down to 167 and change. So we had a $2.50 move almost immediately in this name yesterday before it sort of retraced all day and started going back up. So I do think that there's buyers in this market for Google. So I'm almost waiting to see if we can retest down here and maybe base again and see if we can get bought up in and around 166. So I don't want to look too negatively on this. If we can get back up into this sort of clumped up area, 169 to 170, then I think I'd be going for a short. I don't think we'll play VWAP, although VWAP matches with right there. So that is, it's interesting. Let's just wait to see how the market takes this news. Obviously, it was ask questions, shoot first, ask questions later. When the questions started to get asked, we had a nice move back up. So this is going to be an interesting name. Definitely on the sidebar here today because it wasn't on my radar until 170, and that changed. So we didn't add it on the sticky note. I'm still looking short 169 to 170 with even more sort of conviction today because, yeah, it's not a great story. Sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. Let's just wait to see if there's fire on this one.
Portion of the show brought to you by our friends over at VinFast. VF3 has been named the best EV city car at Indonesia International Motor Show in Surabaya. VinFast made waves in Indonesia's International Motor Show 2025, taking home 4 major awards and stealing the spotlight from global rivals. The breakout star, the VF3, which was crowned best EV city car with a commanding 89% of 50,000 plus public votes, outperforming top brands from China and Japan, and also earned the title of most test-driven vehicle at the show, signaling strong local demand. Adding to the momentum, the VF6 won favorite new car launch, celebrated for its sleek design and tech-forward features. Check out VinFast winning awards globally. Let's go to Nvidia here as the clock continues to tick along. Back to about 0.6 to the upside here, just took out the highs. Lots of positive analyst notes over the past couple of days. It's Morgan Stanley's turn here today.
Well, they like them, Brendo, reaffirming that they're adding them or they're maintaining them as their #1 pick in semiconductors. They describe the company as a unique opportunity with business momentum expected to accelerate, despite obviously fears of a broader sector slowdown. Recent results showed outperformance on gross margins, excluding China revenue strength. Their networking division, which had been a lag, showed signs of recovery, while the supply chain commentary remained positive, especially around AI rack and scaling. Analysts noted, though, gross margins ahead, positive commentary on rack supply and ODM inventory expected to resolve. And the geopolitical sensitivity here is kind of limited. They refuse to give guidance for H2 2025 and 2026 due to geopolitical concerns, especially because of China. Despite this, Morgan says, materially under shipping demand, reinforcing confidence in upside potential.
Yeah, above yesterday's high here, guys, on the rebound once again for Nvidia.
Yeah, we like Nvidia, and it was they had a good day yesterday. And what I love about this for Nvidia is, hey, we don't have to stray too far away from the levels when I left, which was, it looked like it was going to be breaking out of this like bull flag channel, and it did on earnings. And now all you have is the first big dip on earnings bounced pretty much exactly where the support was before, 133. So that's your earnings bottom, which the prior day it held. Not yesterday. I keep saying yesterday when referring to Friday. And you have Friday's low at 33, and then yesterday's low again at 33. So you've made a nice solid base, and you're trying to break it out after we had the earnings level. So as far as I'm concerned, I always look back to where's our first area of support. I'm looking at 136. Things have changed. We've been trending higher the entire morning. Usually when I see that, like I'm popping into the pre-market low 137. When you sit down and it's you're down here, I'm thinking dip buy in 36. Now I like into 137. I did want to get to a super chat because Robinhood's not on our list today. Not on our list. watch list today. And this is from Derek Okie State Blakely. Do you think Hood will have trouble breaking through the $70 price? I think almost any stock at a psychological round number depends on your definition of trouble. It's literally here right now. There's no size on the offer, maybe like a few thousand shares. Certainly this is a little bit trappish at the open for making a fresh high. Like, I don't want to play the breakout at 270 on Robinhood. I wanted to dip into the prior high as well, like prior day close. I'll probably look for a dip. I'm looking for a dip into VWAP today or the prior day close and tops. Do I think it has trouble getting through it? I think on an initial break, I'm anticipating fail breakthrough. But this stock, in a general sense, I mean, it just keeps on breaking highs. And what's good about it is it's consolidated underneath 70 to attempt that breakout. So yeah, I like Robinhood today, but I'll be buying dips instead of taking that break myself.
Yeah, look, people asking, no Bears versus Bulls in the chat today. People asking for the sticky note link, so I just put it in there if you guys want to get it. I have Nvidia right there, 137 to 138 dip buy. If we can get something like that, we're getting that sort of rate now. I want to more wait for that 137. I mean, I just want to be long this name. It's 137 to 137.50 is the dip buying area, but whatever, 137.50 is fine to me. I also think this 139 break for momentum needs to be played. So for me, I'm kind of want to be all over this today. I mean, Morgan Stanley top pick. It's now bouncing. This is day 3 or 4 off of earnings. Looks like we want to try to get, whoops, that's right, we have that move there. The split looks like we want to get higher, right? To get to 140, which I think we get to today, we got to break 139 first. So why not just indicate 139 long? I mean, if it wants to go, it's going to go. We can have easy outs, right? Easy outs are all over the place here. 138 is where VWAP is, and that's just right here, right now. So I think that can come in right off the open. But we're going to wait to see if we can get some support, and if we do, that's what we're taking. Otherwise, man, I think this is a 139 punch long. Oh no, we have another bad wick right there. But if we look here, I'll have to clean that up. But there's 139. We kind of just bounced off of it yesterday. We couldn't really break. We did break. We got to 139.35. But today with better news, if you want to wait, maybe 139.50. But I just think right off the open, you could take that trade. And then worst case scenario, you hold it $1 back to VWAP, which is 138. So for me, I like this trade moving forward. I think it could be a really huge one today. Market's kind of doing its own thing right now, so uncertain of where we're going. The next one is going to be HIMS. I'm with Neil, too. If you look at we do have Robinhood here as a dip buy into VWAP, wherever that is, or the 70 break, which maybe already happened. There's APLD. We talked about that with Mitch earlier as well, a big runner yesterday. This is on the watch list, on the imbalance locator, up 7.5% right now. Apple getting sell side here. Other than that, not much else. I mean, we'll talk about all these, but nothing with huge volumes there. The next story is HIMS, and that's a buy here again right now. They got that sort of deal a long time ago, able to sell Wegovy or one of those things, and it's been really popping since then, man. $25 April 30th, all the way to 65, and it looks like we're in arm's throw of that right now. 60 stone's throw. Don't throw your arm out. $66 right there coming for HIMS, I would say. But let's go find the story.
Yeah, coming back in a little bit here, but just took out the highs there. Picking up this European company, Zava. You have more of the details on that, but I mean, just be careful with this once again. Crazy volatile, this stock.
Yeah, they announced this acquisition. It's Zava is a European telehealth, Brendo, platform as a part of their global expansion strategy. The deal is expected to close mid-year. Financial terms not disclosed, but will be in future filings. CEO Andrew Dudum says the acquisition aims to accelerate European growth and facilitate entry into new markets. The acquisition here, it's gonna give HIMS a presence in Ireland, France, Germany, building on their 2021 UK entry already. They own a company there called Honest Health. Zava will bring 1.3 million active customers, so that's going to increase HIMS' total base, Brendo, by about 50%, up to 3.7 million. Zava's platform has been operational since 2011, so good infrastructure there. Dudum emphasizing Europe has better pricing dynamics and fewer insurance complexities than the US. He thinks they can scale faster internationally, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Good headline.
Yeah, a couple of positive days in a row, 2 or 3 even at this point, guys. What do we do here with HIMS?
Oh man, chase it, I guess. I actually just found out Sean got a Tesla. We were just talking about that. We didn't even talk about Tesla yet. Yeah, so look, HIMS, I think it's really tempting to want to chase this move. You're going to run into a little bit of overhead resistance in the mid 60s here for HIMS. A lot of times an acquisition isn't always the best in terms of sustaining you. But we talked about like Hood just now looking at VWAP. HIMS is kind of a similar story. And your 60 level in here is going to give you something. It's just there were buyers underneath that 60. That's the first place I would look on HIMS. Just very quickly, I know we have Tesla. I know we have the market opening in like 20 seconds or so. Tesla, yada, 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 mid 330s has been a pretty good buy. If we get down there again today, I think it's a buy again. And somehow I left and we're 350 breakout and we're 350 breakout again another day. I'm not going to take the break on Tesla because I have other things on my mind, but I think that's a good one. Adara, let's ring this Tuesday bell. How's about now?
All right. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get going here right away.
Nvidia's breaking.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the whole thing that I was thinking about. I just put the stop order in right now. Let's see if we do get a little bit of a pullback here. Into 138 would be nice, but a little bit of a pullback here. I'm going to take something at 59. We're in it way too early, most likely here, but we're in it now. Let's see what happens with Tesla. Here it goes. We'll see if we can add to this position. We just bought some there at 138.50. We're going to see if we can add to this on this break right here, right now. We did have a nice little win there, but we didn't take it. Let me take something out. If it does come back, okay, well, it's right here right now, 97. We'll take a piece out there at 97. It's a nice 50-cent winner so far. Looking to get a little bit more, take another piece out. Excuse me, we are out of 20% right now on Nvidia. I'm gonna take another piece at 93 again. All right, so now we're out of about 25% for a quick little 50-cent winner there on Nvidia. This is what we wanted, so we got it. We just waited for it to come back into that 138 or so. So that's my story there on Tesla. I see you didn't take too long to get into something. Oklo, I see.
Okay, a low broke. Did Nvidia go? No, it still hasn't broken.
No,
all right.
No.
Oh shoot,
It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it.
Oklo just popped through the high as well. There it goes. Nvidia just went. Like I'm into Oklo, but the entire time Nvidia.
What just happened there?
Did it go?
Quotes. I think it went. I'm gonna have to figure.
Yeah, I'm in.
It did go.
So,
I'm in.
No,
I
I'm
just
in.
don't know
It went.
what price it went out at there, but.
I got ones. That seems impossible.
Yeah, I got.
You don't want ones,
dude. I got 93s. So I got under 139 there. So, all right. So it looks like a very crowded trade early here on that.
I'm going to buy the dip instead. Oklo's flying, by the way.
Yeah,
in all of
huge.
that.
SMR is probably huge.
Right, I'm going to buy the dip instead of that breakout. It was a wild one and a weird one. Just very quickly, OKLO. Sorry about that. Nvidia was going in that moment, and I was on that level too. OKLO broke out as well. It just tagged 58. Now heading to what is a 52-week high up here, Wicks, underneath the 60 level. I think it's going to probably stall in and around there, so I'm going to try to respect that. If we get any kind of pullback at the 60 level, I'm going to jump out of that trade. But Oklo is the one I liked better than SMR. SMR, look, it didn't matter. If you took SMR, that 135 through 60, that breakout would have worked just nicely for you as well. Oh my goodness, Google. Well, there was one short idea. It was Alpha. Look at the wick on Alphabet. Maybe we can get back, not back into it because we never took this trade. Maybe we can get into this trade. Alphabet just lost VWAP, clean fail break of 168, and now heading distinctly lower. Yeah, we wanted this one to the south side. The story being Apple allegedly looking into Perplexity to replace Google search. So not good.
No, not good at all. All right, so we are right now, having to suffer through that false break there of 139. And we talked about, like, sometimes these breaks will work, sometimes they will not. So I'm going to wait for it. We are waiting for a little bit of a 138 dip buy opportunity. Hopefully that can come in. Hims and Hers is just crazy right now, $65. We just touched that marker out, and I was like, oh, we're getting to 65 today on Hims. Yeah, we are. That is for sure. And we just got there right now. So look at that top break right there, 65.30. I guess we're just slowing down, but I think that this can go through that level as well. We have to worry, obviously, about Nvidia, but right now Hims looks like it's trying to go upside. Oops, I'm just going to switch that over to see if we do break. I think that's worth putting in a stop order up there on Hims to see if we can get longer. Oh, there it goes, breaking through 65.30, so it looks like it's trying to do that right now. All right, okay, here it goes. A little bit of a rejection there, but now it wants to go. Let's try it right here in the low 65s if we can get it while we are in it now. 65.20 right now for HIMS. Not a huge position. If this breaks back down below that last sort of prior candle there, that's 64. I think we can maybe get out of it, but here it goes right now. Nice move up there for HIMS. Let's take advantage of that. Get something out in the 80s. Here we go, man. 70 cents now in the money on HIMS. So it's a nice move higher right there as we just trading everything here today, man. Whatever's moving and whatever floats that boat, we're in it. There's a couple more outs on HIMS to the upside there. Wow, all right. So we're out of only about a third of it there as it's now pulling back in. I'm going to put my stop now to see what happens if we break back below $64. That's going to be my stop there on HIMS.
Yeah, good look. HIMS is moving. Someone asked what's going to happen on at 70 on Robinhood. The answer was it wouldn't have trouble breaking it, apparently. It's right through. Just got to 70, not quite 70 and a half. VWAP is... It hasn't really tested the volume-weighted average price nor the 69 level, so I'm going to look for a dip here if we can even get this and sit out in front of that 69.8, like the prior wick on the break, and see if we can't pick a little something up on Robinhood. We wanted to be all good in the hood, but the stock was too good for us, which meant it just didn't dip at all. Nvidia's that really wasn't that good of a pun. The real pun should be about this stock that was soaring this morning, SOAR. SOAR, small capper.
The whole market's,
but the market is kind of pulling back. So I want to make sure we get good prices on a dip. And I'm going to go back over here quickly to Oklo. I'm still not into Robinhood. Come on, Robinhood. Pick me up there. Oklo just dipped again underneath the 58. Just rejected 58.5. So good breakout initially, but you got to hold on to the volume-weighted average price here. That's the prior high in the pre-market as well. So I do want to respect that. I am now into Robinhood. There you go. So Robinhood pulls right back into the 70 level. I'm giving it to this, I guess it's the current bar low, and then we'll play into VWAP as well. Still no Google short as that breaks. Low of the day.
Oh, no.
Low of the day on Alphabet. Something happening in Intel here.
Yeah, just hearing that about Intel as well right now. So we'll figure out if that's going down or up or what it's doing. Right now, we did not get that dip buy there on Nvidia, which is crazy because I was actually bidding 138. It went down as low as 138.20. So we almost made it, but there it comes right back to the, not right back to the upside, but trying to do stuff. New position alert, a small one right now. It's 131 for Palantir. We wrote this down, so we're going to dig a little bit more if we get closer to 131. But right now, Palantir, whoops, downside move. We've seen this many times before, and it looks like it's happening right now for Palantir. We have potentially our first Dollar Club winner right now with HIMS. We're long at 65.20. It just touched 66, where we got some out. We got some out twice up here right now. So let's see if we can break through on HIMS. 2 outs in the 90s right now. We have half of that position still on board here as it's trying to get higher. You never know where you're going to fill. So I'm going to put a 66.20 fill right there, see if we can get that, as this one's really, really bouncing around for us now. Palantir trying to go in the money. There it is. Nice move for Palantir right there. It's a face slapper there, but it's Nvidia right now. That's the problem as we are long at 138.75, but it's a good trade there for Palantir as we get some out at O's, and now we wait to see what's going on as HIMS right there. There it is. It's your official right now. Props it up for that one. And, Mitch was talking about it. We've been talking about it today. It was on our watch list. There goes HIMS. Nice little dollar right there, but it's Nvidia that I got my eye on. Dara, what's up?
I look into Intel. I'm not seeing anything right now, guys. I'm not even really seeing anyone talk about it in social media, but be aware, Intel here dropping with volume. If there is a story on this, I will let you guys know whenever that comes in. Keep an eye on Dollar General as well. This one was on our morning watch list. DG, nice earnings day one play for this one. So Dollar General on watch. DLTR, Dollar Tree, I believe, reporting tomorrow morning, their competitor. Back to you.
Yes, sir, and good one. And thank you very much there, Dara. Another big-time mover this morning was Dollar General. Not usually a name that we heavily day trade, but watch out for the nuclear names here. Oklo comes back. It gave us that dollar move initially on the break. Doesn't really fail all the way to the pre-market lows at 55, but it does lose the volume-weighted average price, which where I want to get out. Wanted to be regrouping here if we can't, either at pre-market lows or prior day lows. For now, it's still looking relatively strong, so don't mind jumping back into this one if we can get a little bit more strength. Shout out to everyone that was mentioning Intel there. I don't know if maybe it's a chip thing. Like the initial break, no good. on Nvidia, came back in and dipped, and it is not holding on to this one. Well, it's trying to hold on to 138, but not holding on to that 138. So Oklo worked, Nvidia not at all, and looking weak. It could be the chips. It could easily be the chips. You've got load, AMD, which is trying to bounce after just initially like flatlining right away at the open in here. And then you guys saw the chart of Intel, and then Micron, which Sean had mentioned, well, to me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was a buy program on Micron, seemingly most of the day. It dipped instantly at the open. So lots of weakness on a lot of these chip names right away off of the bell, and they're still heavily selling it. It's trying to hold on to 138. I mean, it just bounced once. It needs to put in a higher low here and hold on to the volume-weighted average price. And this is why you get out. When Oklo lost VWAP, we talk about this all the time. You lose VWAP on initial breakout trade, I don't want to be fighting it. It's still continuing a little bit lower. Here's the test of the pre-market low as we speak.
All right. Yeah, Nvidia's having a problem. It can't even get by 138.25 now that it's below it. So that's a problem right there. We'll take out some more Palantir. I just took some out there at 06s. These have been some of the top outs for me right here, as it hasn't gone through this 132.18 at all. We'll still watch out for HIMS. It's not doing much either. And then here's Nvidia. It's not, I'm debating just sort of like not going down with this sinking shit. Okay, there it is. I need a pot. There it goes. Okay, we got 34s. I was gonna say I was just about to say we're waiting at VWAP there. So there comes 34 in for Nvidia. Let's see if it really wants to get going now. We're still in this. We've averaged into it. We've got a decent amount of shares, obviously. So I'm gonna take another piece right here if I can. There it is. Okay, in the 40s. Let's go. Let's see if we can make this one, you know, a special trade again. We did break that 139 long, but then, you know, we just trying to follow our plans, right? At the end of the day, that's all that you can do. And right into there, we talked about it right on our note here. Watch out for 137, and that was a level 137.50. I mean, you know, so it came into that. Let's just now see. I was just waiting at 54s. What? It went to 54? Okay.
Yeah, 50.
Oh no, we got it. No, we got 44s. Oh no, I'm up in the 60s. Okay, so let's see if we can get going here on Nvidia. Hopefully a good one there for us. We're 50 cents in the money on Palantir, and we only have a third left now on HIMS, but it is trying to make a move down right now. I think we're just resting. Here comes Nvidia. We're resting on Nvidia a lot right now, so I'm going to offer out on HIMS. Here it goes, man. Let's see if this is going to be a good one. We're net positive now on Nvidia after just grabbing that 60 fill. So net positive and holding about 2 units now. So we had about 3 units near the bottom. Now we hold a little bit more for this move. I'm gonna take one more piece out at 65 if we can get that one more time, and then we'll go from there. Shoot, I didn't even remember that Randy brought this coffee. It's probably freezing cold right now.
No, it's not.
All right, so almost out of HIMS. Oh, there's Randy. What's up, Randy? I didn't even, how's it going over there? Good, I like it. We do have, it's demo day around here. It's been demo day for a while.
Well, it's demo.
They got the bin now, so they're loading that up with stuff there out the back. But here we go, man. Here goes Palantir. We had a $1 winner on HIMS. Looks like we're trying to get there with Palantir. We just took some out on Nvidia, and there it goes right now. It's a hot dog cannon kind of day right now for this market. So let's go. A couple good, well, 3 for 3 basically right now. So let's go. Yeah, 3 for 3. There it is, man. Positive on everything right now today. So let's just keep on climbing right now for Nvidia, for Palantir, and for the tech space. It's a ripper right now. Offer some more out at 69er right now on Nvidia. There's Randy. As we continue to go higher and higher. Hey, Randy, what's up? Right there. We're only at half a day goal because things aren't necessarily ripping yet, but we're trying to get up there. If we can get back to 139, that would be our day goal met. And so far, so good there. $1 everywhere right now. HIMS trying to make some moves as well. So far, so good. Apple was the only one that we didn't trade. Oh, and you looked at Robinhood, right? There's Nvidia. Holy shit. That's a huge move right there.
We'll go to Adair and come right back and talk some hood.
There's a note here. Keep an eye if you're a small cap trader on SHOT, that is Safety Shot, announcing this morning that they are developing apparently next generation nootropic and sleep solutions. So keep an eye on this one. About 3 million shares traded so far today. Also, just so you guys know, no 9:45 a.m. number, but at 10 a.m. we're going to get JOLTS job openings and factory orders. JOLTS are going to be the more closely watched of these numbers. I'll be, of course, giving those for you live right here at this desk. Back to you.
Yeah, good look. JOLTS, that's going to be a relatively important one. We know the labor market does matter right here. So there was a initial fail break at 39. The dip has worked in Nvidia, but it just turned again at 139, like 138.95 or 96 it just turned back in on. So I just took another leg out. I'll only load back in. maybe underneath VWAP. Actually, it could go above VWAP here, 138 quarters to 30s, and hold on to that 138 level. Does look like Alphabet and our short opportunity might have come and gone here. And I don't want to chase something at the low of the day when the market is trying to break out still. The Nasdaq trying to hold some of these tops and hold green. If it does, I think Google could get a little bit of a bounce. Obviously, that Anthropic news, the Apple news, it should be, with Perplexity weighing heavily on this stock. That's why you're seeing a lot of weakness here in Alphabet. But if we can't get it at least in VWAP, it's so far away from that 168 now. You're chasing it $2.50 if you're shorting these lows. So I don't want to short any lows. And if you're looking at some of the other chip names, like River was talking about Intel and how it was dropping at the open, it's recovering nicely. So I think Nvidia was stronger to begin with. So continue to want to buy dips over there. And going back to the nuclear plays, we got out of Oklo when the getting was good. That's now a failed breakout underneath the volume weighted average price. It just double bottomed, holding pre-market lows at 55. So at least it's starting to look a little bit better. But on a 15-minute, that's just it's a good break initially. It gives you like $1 change. But it's now a failed breakout on that 15-minute. I need to see a stronger candle on the 15-minute, and we can get back into some longs after that.
All right, great job over there. Guys, we are absolutely just doing the best with the least trade here, man. 3 positions today. HIMS is now $2 now in the money on HIMS. So this is going to be definitely the trade of the day there for, we just missed that 67.40 level though. We should maybe punch out a little bit more there. Okay, there we're offer out, we'll take some out. Right there, there goes HIMS, man. What a monster move, $1.80 on that one. Palantir, we're going 3 for 3. Palantir, nice move up right now at VWAP as well. So let's take another position. Oh, wow, there it is. Nice play out there at 43 for us on that one. We have now hit it. So that's now
another one.
I don't know, I think almost every day in this last week there where we've hit our daily goal. So there it goes again, and I'm not moving the goal. We're happy where it is. There goes Nvidia, just took 139 again right there. I was waiting at 139.30s. It doesn't look like it wanted to get there. We'll offer it out some more here at 95s and take another piece out as we still have more than half of this trade on. I'm waiting for 139.30s. Let's go with Nvidia. It's an absolutely monster day, Neil. There's Palantir joining the club as well. So we have Nvidia in the money $1, HIMS in the money $1.32, Palantir in the money $1. That's all 3 trades at least $1 right now on these names. And it's not like we're trading like they're $130 names. These aren't Teslas or anything like that. Nice move there on Palantir. Let's take another piece out here in the 80s on that one. So there it goes, man. We are in a bull market. You trade long. That's what you do right there. It's a nice move upside. HIMS, Nvidia, Palantir. I mean, this Palantir trade is ridiculous. And again, another level that we had written down today. Nvidia, Palantir, all on here. The levels came in, and when they come in, we strike with vengeance. And that was a good one there on Nvidia. So let's take another piece out here at 139.20. Now let's just let it ride, man. We're going higher and higher and higher. There it is, man. That's trading. Buy those dips right into the 200, right into VWAP. Let it blast higher. There it is, 139.30s for Nvidia. Might as well take a piece out as this is where we wanted to. So let's see what happens now to the upside. Just excited because we've been really seeing the market pretty well these past couple of days. And there it goes again. Nice move there, upside for Nvidia.
Absolutely, as it continues higher. But hey, everybody, if you want a prop firm that's transparent, very important, and fair, and actually wants you to succeed, listen up. Prop XP gives you 1 to 200 leverage. One of the highest out there and no high watermark. It's fast payouts, real support, and a team that's on your side. That's why they're rated 4.6 on Trustpilot and climbing. Use the code TraderTV to get 50% off of your challenge right now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box and start trading smarter with Prop XP. Pass the challenge and get funded. Shout out to them, as the challenge right now is, can the market break out the top? That would be the challenge. Okay, Robinhood just came back underneath. It was a failed break of the 70 level. I mean, it got all the way to like 70.30 and then came back. But now it's starting to hold. Robinhood, that is, starting to hold above that 70 level and the volume weighted average price and respect a little bit better. So when I go back into the dips on that on VWAP, it didn't actually break VWAP before when I got out, but then it broke out after. So even if I'd put the stop wider, you would have just been triggered anyway. So the volume weighted average price sits at about 69.80. It just dipped heavily back into it now. Looks like we all close above VWAP here. You don't want to have a big dip failure like this. I'd like to see it close above VWAP or do a bottoming tail and then jump back into the long there. And one of the only places we're looking for a short was Alphabet at that 168. Well, it's about to get to 167 again. So Alphabet's starting to come in here. We'll let it go. The market's strong. Let it get to the price where you want it to reject instead of getting in too early. Nvidia's looking okay right now. It's really just Robinhood that we want to get back into. So as Robinhood tries to play off volume weighted average price, I don't want to sit in front of the falling knife. I want to see it close above VWAP, and then we'll try to get it in as well. I see a bunch of people talking about SMH, TSM, a lot of the chip names. It is Nvidia's party right now. That's why you're focusing on them. It's just really been, it was actually nasty at the open for a lot of the chip names in the other direction, but now you're starting to see it go. Like here's SMH starting to break out here. Let's see if we can get a VWAP dip buy as well on Nvidia. But Robinhood's the front of the mind. It's not going to close above VWAP. Not nearly as strong as we would like to see. I have my dip set at 138 on Nvidia, but that was before it broke that 139 top. Now I got to start thinking about VWAP or the prior high at 139. Continuation play, only looking longs over there. Yeah, not looking too great for Robinhood.
No, eh?
Strong early. Well, I mean, we're not back in it, but it's trying to lose VWAP here while the market's at the highs. You don't want to see that. You want to see relative strength.
Boom.
And right now, it's still looking a little bit weak.
All right, man. Wow. I'm actually thinking the opposite way. I still have too many shares here of Nvidia. I'm trying to think about where to get out, and I'd like to add to it as well. But we still got on some shares here. We're actually down to 1 unit, but I just emptied the clip right here at 139.50, like a lot. So let's wait to see now, as this is a huge move. Again, it's the #1 trade idea that I had on here, along with, I mean, Palantir's down there at 132. Watch out for 131. We wrote down. That's where we wind up getting it at 131.60s. But there's Nvidia 137 to 137 dip buys into the long, and that's exactly what wound up coming into 138. So we were able to take that. We did take the 139 break long, which sort of got that day going, and as Neil mentioned, not going great. But there it is, man, a nice, huge actually, move to the upside right now for Nvidia. This is, we'll wind up making a similar amount on this today as we did yesterday. We don't have that monster $3 win or anything like we did on Google or $13 on Tesla, but these will work out, man. They'll work out just fine. Maybe a little bit of a pullback. You can see what this market's doing. I'm going to start to exit a little bit more. I just took some out at 42s right there. Yeah, good hit there at 42. You could see, man, maybe I just need not hit the button so much. We have so many outs in between this 38 to 50 level that it's ridiculous. So I'm going to now see if we can wait. Maybe we'll get something out if it finally takes out this 20 area. I'll put a stop in to get some more out. If that does happen here, let's just do that right now. Let's go to 139.19. We'll get out of 25% of our position if that does come back into that area. Otherwise, there's another out at 50. Now let's just let this thing go, man. We're almost at the 2 times goal, so that's pretty good. We only have 10% left of HIMS. You know, that was a nice move up. We just got some more out there at 66 as well. This name's flying around. This looks like a good out for us, 64.60. So let's change our out now into 64.60 now that it finally gives us a little bit of an area. 64, let's get that exactly what we're trying to do right there. 64.60, yeah, 64.59. All right, we'll just do that. We'll get out of 100%. It's dangerous sending, oh shoot, Neil. It's dangerous sending a market order at HIMS, that's for sure. But there it is, man, 139.74 as the trade of the day, obviously for both of us, I would assume, is Nvidia, as here we go, man. You know, I'll wind up making 4 or 5 times as much on Nvidia that we'll make on Palantir and on HIMS, but that's because we trust in this name. And Palantir, I wanted to get a little lower, to be honest with you, man. I mean, we were at 131. You know, we just started that trade. We'll see if we can get a little bit more for that. But right here, if Nvidia can get, I'm just going to take a piece out right now. Take out a 69 there. There we go. Then we get to 75s. A couple more outs right there on Nvidia. So here we go. You know, we'll make it there. It's pretty much that 2 times goal. So that's good. It's 9.53. We got to be really happy with that. There's VinFast. Make sure you do scan that on the QR code and get that going. So yeah, so far so good here today. Just trading these 3 names.
Yeah, Nvidia looks like it wants 140, but it's having a little bit of trouble after that last break. There is now a clean trade clean trend that's set up, but you needed to see it pop, break the high, consolidate. Now there's a bit of a trend line. We can go with the initial dip. That was 138, and then now here 139.2. If we lose this, I'm out and waiting for the volume weighted average price again. Otherwise, we're getting to 140 and looking for the out there. Alphabet, I'm into for the first time, as that just came into VWAP topping tail. I mean, kind of a topping tail candle here after put the big one in at the level we really like. That was 168.5, 167.5 into 168. But now we're short underneath VWAP. You can see prior bar high is going to be my out clean here on Google. And if the market breaks out, I think it can take Alphabet with it. But this is the only Mag 7 name, although I'll have to double check because I just realized I haven't looked at Microsoft this morning and I haven't really paid much attention to like Amazon either, that was looking this week. So I want 66 if we can get there, and then low of the day. But I'm not letting this, I'm not holding this to the next level. Like this is the short here underneath the volume weighted average price at a prior high. If it breaks out this top, I'm jumping out. No average into it beyond that price. We wait for it to get to 168. $1.50 higher is where I would be looking for the next opportunity. And yeah, here comes that 140 on Nvidia.
I just took it now in case it doesn't break.
I just took it. I just got out now at 88. We went to Eric Lindros on there. That is Eric Lindros. For a second there, I actually had to think about it. I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but went Eric Lindros on it. And now we'll see if it'll break the trend and pull back into VWAP.
You could have got
or
Michael
the prior
Irvin
high.
on it. I mean, there's a lot of...
Well, no. I'm not going to say Michael Irvin.
No. Anyways, there it goes, man. Nice move there to the upside. I think we're doing pretty good here so far. So there goes that. Oh, by the way, we'll slap a fail on our last 10% of HIMS. I mean, there it goes to the downside. I mean, most of the outs are here at 66s, right? A little bit higher than that, 66.25s. Then we have a 67 and change. Then we have another 66 once it broke lower. So now we're out there. But watch out. Right back to VWAP, so a good possibility there for that trade. I'm over the moon with this right now. We're almost $2 in the money now on Nvidia, and we have about a third, a little bit less. Let's call it 25% again. Not sure exactly how many shares that we had down there near the bottom, but we're really doing well now to hold on to this. And again, it's just taking out more shares, right? I mean, we have many different tranches that we could hit, and we're doing much better trying to hold for bigger moves, and that's really affected the net, right? Yeah, you guys are really talking about Reddit on there, and I love that kind of talk. I really
What's
like
Reddit doing?
Nothing. Well, it's been strong.
Oh.
It's not. Today it's doing 2%. I mean, it's good. It's not, we don't really trade it too much because it's pretty illiquid. I mean, that's 30 cents right there. You kind of almost got to play a break and hope that you got something. But there's Nvidia right now at 140. We just took a 97 fill, I think, 95 fill right there on NVDA. So right now we are down to about, I'm going to say between 20 to 25% left, which is actually, for me, pretty good there. This was our #1 trade idea on the note, so we're very happy with it. Palantir is having itself a day. It's not doing much. It wants to go, but it's not. So I'm going to offer some more out there at 15s just to take that fill. We're down now. I can see this 10% left of this Nvidia trade. That's exactly the level that we have left. And here comes Nvidia one more time. I'm going to take a 97 fill, and let's just see if it breaks now. Bye-bye. See you later, 140. It was nice knowing you. I don't want to add to it, but look at that size that's on there. A couple million shares being posted, and then let alone what's there underneath it, so with a dark pool and whatnot. But bye-bye. That didn't take long. There it goes now, 140 and change. It is now an official banger club. We need a new thing, man, banger club. There it goes, man, to the upside right there. 140.10, 140 and change. Man, we're here again, man. Obi, Neil, whoever. We're glad to have you guys here with us one more time. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's hit it for Neil, man. Let's get back up to 3,000. Let's spin it for the trades of the day with Nvidia, with Google, with Hood, all that stuff that we've been trading today. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. It's been a good one.
Yeah, it's been a good one, and wow, obviously if NVIDIA's going, CoreWeave's going to go as well, but NVIDIA flying through the 140.
Wow,
there hasn't been a dip yet, but we took advantage. If the market breaks the high and you're in a short, hey, it's great if it's under VWAP, that's fine. But now that you're really breaking out, no reload on this stock. Like I said, we'll take something out in front of 166. We break that high, we jump out of it. But CoreWeave, you've got to be kidding me. This stock is, it's up 10%. Obviously, it's having a good day like NVIDIA, and it just broke out another all-time high on CoreWeave at the 130 level. So another day, another all-time high for CoreWeave. It doesn't have to make sense, everybody. It's just a momentum trade as far as I'm concerned. it doesn't really make a difference. I think you just want to follow along with it. So the trend break, if it
138
happens here on Nvidia, I'm looking for a trend break, not short, but trend break long back in off the volume weighted average price. We're still holding on to our short because Google underneath VWAP looks pretty good. And Robinhood, as strong as that was, it still can't hold above the volume weighted average price. So you're not seeing me jump back into this one on the long side because it doesn't look that good. It's lower highs, and for now, it's already made one low. If it makes another fresh low, this turns into something else. The other side of the equation is we have JOLTS in about 1 minute. So I'm not sitting on any bids outside of Nvidia at VWAP for that JOLTS number. I think sometimes you get, pardon the pun, a jolt in the stock where like you get a dip and rip or something along those lines. If I get that, I'll try to buy a dip in Nvidia on that move. We'll get that in about 30 seconds or so, everybody.
Yeah, let's get ready to go over to Adara. I'm just like, we got Joe excited about this trade over here. I hope you're in this, my guy. There goes Nvidia, man. Now $2.40 in the money. Let's throw to Adara. We got JOLTS right now. Let's go get a jolt.
About 15 seconds here until JOLTS job openings. We are going to get 7.1 million is the forecast here for JOLTS job openings. 7.192 million was previous. So we're expecting slightly lower than the previous print. Factory orders month over month, we're seeing negative 3.2 expected. Sorry, 3.2%. Let's see what happens here. So higher than expected JOLTS job opening, 7.391 million. So that is quite a bit above the forecast of 7.1 million and the previous print of 7.192 million. Then we get the factory orders month over month. Those are lower than expected. Negative 3.7% versus the forecast of negative 3.2%, and the previous print of positive 4.3%. So well below expectations here for the factory orders month over month. Above expected, though, for those JOLTS job openings. Those are really the only significant economic numbers we're getting today. We did get some durable goods revisions. Core and durable goods both exactly in line with estimates. So core 0.2%. Durable goods negative 6.3%. We're going to get some Fed speak later today, but in terms of economic data, that's basically all of it. The market pushing a little bit higher on this better than expected JOLTS print. So good look here for the Nasdaq. We'll take a look at the SPY as well, see how that one is faring. Generally, though, they have been trading pretty similarly. In this case, though, Nasdaq certainly closer to today's highs than the S&P 500. Here's Hims and Hers. This is one of the biggest ones on watch this morning. This one, like CEG, gapped up. They both had catalysts, but they've both given up a lot of that strength. Hims and Hers, with a pretty decent short float here, was on watch after announcing plans to acquire a European health company called Zava. Then we have Dollar General. This one's still at day's highs on an earnings move. They beat on EPS, missed on sales, but they did raise their outlook for the fiscal year. Back to you.
Yeah, the HIMS chart looks exactly like the OCLO, or similar to the OKLO chart, which I'll have to double check on SMR in a quick little second, but this is why you get out and why I'm looking over at Robinhood and want to see that confirmation above VWAP, because look at this sucker. Like the second we lost VWAP, it actually was a reversal short in OKLO, and it's been not stopping to the downside as the market goes higher. So you have to have an out. You got to have one. It was a good breakout initially, but right back into it as this continues to go lower and lower and lower. There was no dip to be had just now in Nvidia on that JOLTS number, so it's still flying higher. Higher time frame look. You've got a pretty wide gap now, up to like 142, so there's a lot of room for this to go. Prior highs on the 15 minutes sit at like 139.5. So until we get back in any kind of a trend reversal, that's where I'm going to be sitting. VWAP is going to obviously be a moving target as well. Had to get out of Google. We told you why. You do not want to fight that stock when the market is heading higher. Oh, and Tesla is very close to the breakout of 350. Again, 350 is about to break. Every day I've been sitting down. Come back and it's back at 350 again.
350 on that stock, 350 in the money on Nvidia, and over with Adara. When you're ready, I just heard we have more news.
Just be aware here, Fed's Bostic speaking. Wasn't seeing him on the calendar at all today, but he's saying apparently that the best monetary policy approach right now entails patience. With that, as kind of expected here, he's saying that he's, quote, very cautious about jumping to cutting rates. So Fed's Bostic definitely on the rate hold path as of right now. We were expecting rate holds until potentially September anyway, so nothing super new here. S&P 500 now at day's highs, but Bostic looks like speaking right now in addition to a slew of Fed speakers we're getting later in the afternoon. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that one, Adara. Yeah, I mean, this Nvidia trade is just like, you know, we get that Morgan Stanley top pick, right? We get it breaking. It's $3 and change. Like, we were willing to, you know, let this one work for us. And it did that, and it's doing it. And we have so many outs, and I'm just taking out piece by piece as we go upside here. The more confident we get, sort of the more we can try to let this go. But I mean, there could be some tops up here. Just looking at what we've been talking about, we've already been up in this area. I was sort of thinking like this has been this 142, 50s, 140, like that's 141.70. These sort of tops is 141.50 right there. That's right where we are right now. We're at 141.20 and not able to get there. So, you know, we are thinking about getting a little top heavy. I mean, ultimately tomorrow when we break 150, then, you know, you have all clear. But for right now, can't hold overnight. So I am starting to get less and less on this. And I feel bad about how many shares we have left. We only have about that 10% now left on this trade. So a little bit more than that. But now that we broke a little bit below, I'm going to take another piece out at O's right there like we just got. So there it is, man. It's the cleanup trade there for me. We cleaned up. It's good. And then I was just saying, you brought up HIMS. Like that was, yeah. And I just tweeted out, I guess that was a good out. Right there. Like once we found sort of it breaking through that support, we're up on, we don't have a negative name today. I'm up on HIMS, Nvidia, and Palantir, and this one could have easily gone the other way had we not had risk management. And we always talk about that here on the show, whether or not you're up or down on any day, it's important to notice like, you know, that these moves can happen. And notice back when you have some of your worst days, you know, see what happens to the market and, you know, what happened to that trade that you particularly lost on. Like, I've noticed that, for example, punches early haven't been the greatest. We had, when the number one trade yesterday was the Palantir punch of 132 long, which went to 133, 134, but thankfully we had a decent amount of shares. This time we didn't have that many shares because we'd already gotten one time at 50, then we added to it at 139. So thankfully we already had about half a unit there, so that was only another half unit. Then when it came back in, we put on another one, giving us one. Then it came back in, put on another one, which gave us, I said we had about 2.5 to 3 units. And we just put on 2 more positions down here. Each of these are about a half unit. We have about 3 fills there, 2 fills there. So there it goes all the way to the upside. So, you know, you gotta, again, Obi said this because we had many of these trades in the last little week or so. And it's just like, you gotta be lucky, but you also gotta be there to take the trade. You know, so I think it's lucky that we're moved up 3%. I mean, I don't think we sort of planned on that, but there goes Nvidia. And again, and you know, we'd written it down. It's an idea that we liked. It's going to be, you know, carry the day for me today. And I like when that happens. Sometimes they go against you, you know, and that's fine. So you take what you get. And right now we're getting a nice upside move for Nvidia. So I think we should take it, you know, and then now maybe think about regrouping as it's now past 10 o'clock. And you can see the momentum maybe is starting to head the other way. I'm offering 80s right now. It doesn't seem like it wants to get through that level to give me the fill. Oh, what am I? Oh, I'm at 81s, my bad. If we were just at 80s, we would have got that. I'm going to go to 78 now and get it. No, we miss it. So yeah, we're going to have to regroup now as this is starting to come. There we go. We get a 78, starting to come down a little bit. I was going to use the 50 period moving average. That's just so far away. I don't want to give that all the way back up. So maybe a prior bar high on a 5 minute to give us a trend change right there, which would be 140 30s. So I think if we break through there, then we can definitely get out. We can cancel our get out of 25% now. That doesn't seem to be a matter. So 140.50 downside, I think we'll use that as an area there. Sorry, 140.30 to get some more out of Nvidia.
Yeah, it looks like it does. Maybe you want to pull back in here. Tesla, let me just get this chart back up because I tried to get rid of the wick and you know what happened.
Yeah.
It's starting to pull back into prior highs. So if you look at Tesla, the 350 break, and we said we're not taking that one anymore after like when I left here, 350 break was not very good. The 2 times, one of the 3 times we took it, it was actually good, but the other 2 times it was no good. Pulling back in, I want to see it hold the line. I have a line drawn at 347.3. The real support's down here at 346. Let me just get rid of this. There you go. The real support's here at 346 in VWAP. We're in the prior high. If we lose 46, we're going to have to jump out of this one. Should have gotten out of this one maybe when it broke this. I don't want to give it that tight of a stop. It's still above VWAP, but maybe should have gotten that one early. And I think, look, Robinhood's starting to turn into a potential short for me in here. I'm just going to show you why while leaving Tesla up here because it wants to challenge that 46 as we speak. So I want to make sure we leave it in. You guys can see what happens. If VWAP holds, then it's still also holding an upward trend. But it looks like, yeah, Tesla's about to come out. Tried to break out that prior high into 50, and then it loses VWAP in here. And this is what I mean about Robinhood. Tried again to bust out through 70, gets to 69.9 twice, and now holding under the volume weighted average price. If this starts making lower lows, trending back down, then I can think about the short. I want to give it more of a chance to be a long today for Hood because it was part of the plan, but it just doesn't want to go. Like this was one of the top ideas, and I'm looking for that long to set back up again. Still some higher lows into a flat top, something like this, into the flat top, but it needs to either break out the top of this channel or pretty much bust. That's it. Like it needs to show me that wedge, break out the top, and I can give the stop into that support level on Robinhood. Right now it's starting to struggle, at least a little bit. The good news about the market dip is it might give me a chance to get back in to Nvidia. But yeah, Tesla, we could have got that one for a tight stop, but I wanted to give it to the volume weighted average price. If it closed above, I might take a second swing at it. But it was Robinhood and Nvidia that were higher on the list. And even then, Nvidia still doesn't want to get back into VWAP. Cancel that one. I'm still sitting at VWAP from the JOLTS number. I'm just leaving that order in there. Maybe it'll get filled later.
Yeah, hopefully we get some. Well, hopefully not. I'm still long on Nvidia. So I just took advantage of that move up and got some more out there at 140.75. Yeah, Tesla's been tricky, so we'll wait to see if we can get that one. I was actually looking at Tesla as well. I think it could be a buy. We got to get to 144.50, or sorry, 344.50 for me on TSLA before we're interested. We're still running this, man. Still $3. So Palantir. All right. So like I'd mentioned before, we had 5% or something, or 10% of Palantir. Of Palantir. It's under 10%. I'm waiting to get more, but not until lower. I want to wait for 131, right? And so I am bidding right now 131.11 right now for Palantir. So if that comes in, good for that. And then our out didn't happen on Nvidia, so we're still waiting for that. So what's up to Tia? What's up to everybody there in the chat? We want to welcome you all to the chat one more time. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. Get those numbers going a little bit. I'm going to refresh to see where we're at right now. Oops, that's the wrong feed right there. Here it is right now. Let's it's because it's paused. That's why. Let me just refresh this. Get that push play right there. 990. We got to get this higher, man. Come on. We've been in the thousands all week. Let's do that again. Get this up to 1.5K right now. 9,700 of you watching. If just 1 out of every 10 hits that button, then we'll get that up to 1.5K immediately. So let's do that. And thank you so much for, again, supporting it. And you could see all the trades. I mean, we break them all down, whether or not winners, losers, Teslas, Nvidias, HIMs, HERs, Hoods, Palantirs. What else have you been in today? One more name.
Oklo.
Oklo, right. So again, covering a lot of the different space. The one space that I don't think we've really talked too much about is quantum. I mean, QBTS did have and Rigetti did have. They all had some moves yesterday, but there's the fade out. We got really excited with them today a little bit, and then a little bit of a fade there on QBTS. So kind of zooming in here too much. Let me zoom out just to see 1650. Yeah, that's the level. So we're waiting for 1650 there. I was going to say I knew that there was something there that we liked on this name, and it was. So there's 1650 right into here, sort of that top from yesterday that finally broke basically at the end of the day, or I guess midday, where we started to make that move into the end of the day, and now you're coming back in. So watch out for 1650 there, potentially on QBTS, and then RGTI, not RG3, but RGTI right there. Nice move. Yeah, 11. So that looks like that wants to even break this shelf there at 1175. That's going to be pretty dangerous. That does not look as good for dip buy opportunities as QBTS does. This one looks like it wants to actually. I should maybe go pay for shorts if I need to. I'm going to try to throw out maybe 100 shares. 1175 there. Let me just
QBTS.
Let me offer 100 shares. No, yeah. I need to get some of that. So I'm going to go get some of that. I like a break lower on this name. But right now, Nvidia is still that $3. What's up, Max? That's still $3 in the money and going higher right now. I don't have any offers except for at the high of the day of 141.30. So let's see if we can get back up to there. Take a small position out. We'll take out 10% of what we have left. We only have on 10% left. period of this trade. Yeah, good bounce back there for Palantir. Let's take advantage of that one more time there. So we'll get a 10s, take that out. We were a little bit too like frugal or whatever, conservative with our bidding on Palantir because I was waiting, you know, 131.10, 131.11s. We got into 131.30. So there we go, another out, under 5% now left of this name. And that's what we have on, man. Just Nvidia and Palantir. You've already sort of talked about, SMR blew through that 35, right? 34, sorry.
No, they all rejected.
Yeah, they all, well, yeah, no, that its level was 34s, I thought. But anyways, it just blasted right through it. Because there was a level I wanted to look at. Yeah, no, it was just, oh, that's what it was. It was just a pre-market high. But that sort of came in right there, and that was a great trade on that break. Yeah, $34.80, $35 all the way to 36. Great trade there on SMR. But as Neil just mentioned, the pullback on this one is real. And there it comes. And talk about a real pullback. HIMS, wow, down to $58 right now. I don't even remember the story. We broke that one there early, get that momentum, and whoops, right there back into the downside. Nvidia having a little bit of a problem here at 16. So let me take another out right there. This is the best out I've had so far. So we're going to do that right there. And now we'll wait for a 30 fill coming through on NVDA. But yeah, man, our LFT is 0 right now, and we're going higher and higher. So let's see if we can get this 29 fill. We're waiting at 141.29. So yeah, man, another good day here. And just trying to follow the market, man, trying to have the trend. I sit down, try to pick away. We knew NVIDIA was going to be something today. It's something every day, as is Tesla. So we'll have to look at that in a minute. But give me those 29s soon, and we'll be out. But all right, let's go over to Neil and see what he's talking about.
Well, Hood's looking pretty good, but if you want to make sure you don't have LFT and get the best fills, well, you want to avoid slippage. And that's when you've entered an order to buy or sell, and the price you get filled is just completely different from your expectation. That slippage can be nasty, and that happens when you're trading on an old or underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. That's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. The guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid that pesky slippage. Go ahead and scan the QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide. Shout out to Easy Trading Computers. No slippage on the break here of 70 at all on the re-break of 70 on Robinhood, as I got 01, so that's literally 0 slippage. It's the best fill you can get on a 70 break. So the wedge broke here, the higher lows broke, and then it broke this resistance above the volume weighted average price. I'm looking to get out in front of the high, and we're buying dips back into the volume weighted average price as well. So looking very good right now on Robinhood. Tesla's trying to claw its way back, but before we go back to Adara, one last thing I want to show you guys. We're talking about HIMS, but also the nuclear names like Oklo is still trading down on the lows. It was a good breakout earlier, no questions asked, but now look at it. Trying to challenge these lows. Thought maybe you'd get to 50 for a support level and bounce, but it's got a nice consolidative bottom here. A little rounded bottom is the best way to think about it. Starting to look a little bit better. If this can form, let's do this so you can see it. A nice little downward sloping wedge and break the plane, then a push back into VWAP, starting to make sense for Oklo. But until I see that happen, I'm not going long the stock again. It's now red on the day. So we're able to get away with the long breakout because we took profit and had a stop. You've got to have yourself an out when things reverse that quickly. Let's go back to Adara.
Here is PTON. Keep an eye on this one. CNBC reporting that Peloton is apparently launching a resale market for used bikes and treadmills. So Peloton here, this resale market story from CNBC, and watch PTON. As you can see here, a little bit of a spike. We had some volume on that as well, but it's not even, it's basically trading near yesterday's lows, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, Peloton is one of those, I don't know, like it feels like the ship has sailed on them potentially getting acquired. Maybe it hasn't, but it feels like that ship has sailed. All the talk seems to be coming away from that. But it's holding on to the 50 period kind of by dear life here, as it hasn't looked all that great. But hey, holding the 50 on higher lows on the daily, you could do a heck of a lot worse than that. All right, jumping back over to Nvidia, this continues. I mean, the daily chart there looks nice, obviously, because it's Nvidia. But I'm going to go ahead and VWAP's a moving target. When I sat there on JOLTS, this isn't going to get you that dip yet. It's trying to put in another breakout of the prior high. Last dip got you to 140.30. I think it's more likely in around that VWAP at the 140 where I want to jump back into it. So Robinhood trying to work back into its high of the day. The other thing to keep an eye on here outside of Oklo for myself, and kind of got away from this, was, remember Apple? Yeah, Apple is sitting at VWAP right now when the market's holding on to those highs. This also happens to be prior day tops. So yesterday's high at 202, and it's holding on to the trend at the volume weighted average price. So you kind of move to what is the next thing? Well, this bar closing above the volume weighted average price here gives you the out just underneath that 202. No, it's not down. It's just at VWAP right now. So I can look over and say, okay, Robinhood's holding okay. Maybe we get the dip in Nvidia, but Apple holding on to VWAP. It's trying to hold on to VWAP. I want to see this bar close above VWAP and then jump into that trade. Look for is your reversion, a reversion of the reversion, as I know Obi likes to say, and a bounce off the volume weighted average price. But it's not there yet.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up because we're in a new position right now for Apple. We had written down Apple right here as our number 2 trade idea, and I actually, first of all, Nvidia right now 350 in the money and absolutely singing. So I couldn't be more happy with that. And I was just going to sit back down and try to look for a trade, but there it is right there. It's Apple. We said 220, break long, like break long, right? But the thing is that we were already in the other names and we actually miss that break long right there at 202.20. Once it does break it right off the open, it only goes to 202.60s. So that was pretty dangerous. Like if I mean, to get 40 cents on that and then walk away from it, definitely a tough trade. Comes back into 201, which is again, I'm pretty sure we wrote down 200. So yesterday's bottom 201 comes in there, then rips up to 203.20 and stops. Pulling back into VWAP. Your boy is in that one. Thanks for that call out, Neil, because I would have missed it. And right there, we take it because it's a stock that we wanted. So there's another little quick out there on this name for 20 cents. We're just stacking on stacking right now with Apple. Still waiting for 202 to come in. If we, yep, no problem. If we break below 201.75 or so on Apple, then yeah, man, we'll get out of it. Not a huge trade here as we just continue to watch out for Nvidia and Palantir. Palantir's pulling back in, so is Nvidia a little bit. I'm gonna take some offers right now on Nvidia. Our best out is right here. We did it, we got what we wanted, 140, 140s. So not a bad out right there as we now turn our attention over to Apple. And then a stock that will never be in this segment, small cap recap.
IWM here, this is really nice support on the 15-minute. We have this double bottom around that 205.50 area as of right now, trying to break into 207s, trading around 206.80s and breaking out the day's high. So Russell 2000 up about 0.5% right now. All of that technical analysis aside, Recor Systems, REKR is the ticker for this one, trading about $1.50 right now. They do have about a 20% short float. This morning announcing that they've actually been chosen by the Texas Department of Transportation, or the DOT, for a multi-year statewide contract. Not super specific, but a good look here for the stock. Anyway, REKR, they still have not taken out pre-market highs yet. Then we have Class Over Holdings, otherwise known as KIDZ or KIDS. You might recognize this small cap from a couple weeks ago. Yesterday, they did a bit of an interesting catalyst. We've seen this a lot with these small cap names lately, announcing a Solana related purchase. So they said they've entered into a securities purchase agreement with Solana Growth Ventures to issue up to $500 million in senior secured convertible notes. So KIDZ, nice little look there. Last but not least, this is CRDO. This one's a little bit less of a small cap. It's about $13 billion market cap, but it had a really nice move this morning. Credo, day one earnings for this one. They did beat on EPS and sales. Sales up almost 180% year over year. And their guidance for Q1 better than expected as well, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much there, Dara. Like those small cappers, they can make or break your day. I'm going to get to Oklo in a quick little second, and I'm going to go over SMR. I promised I would talk about SMR and some of the other names, not just OKLO, but there's the retest of VWAP on Apple. We're in. We're going to give it to that O2 as mentioned before. But looking over at those nuclear names, and they are just, look, they're disappointing today. There's no question about it. The breakout, you could have had SMR too, and that would have given you a great break at the open, but this is starting to look like where is the continuation here? Like, you got to be kidding me. So underneath the long weighted average price, underneath the prior day low. I don't think I paid for locates on this. Let me just double check if they're free. Okay, either I paid for these or they're actually free today. But underneath VWAP, underneath the prior day low on a false break, I usually look for the shorts back underneath. Well, that could be a play if Oklo doesn't set something up, and like Oklo can't even get off the bottoms here. It's about to test that low again. So I'm going to go over to this SMR, and yeah, I might get into the short here at 33 just to nibble in and give it to the volume weighted average price. And we'll see. I want to see it maybe break 33 and give me a better fill up there. Robinhood's starting to pull back. Apple, as we mentioned, it's still holding on to VWAP, but only barely. If it loses 02s, there's a lot of space between here and 200 where I have my nice little line drawn. So yeah, we'll see if it holds on the VWAP. It's VWAP or bust, and then I'm waiting for 200 on Apple, and Robinhood holding on to VWAP, looking for that high of the day retest as we speak. As we go over my man Sean.
Yeah, we got this going on right now. And if you are looking at Trade the Pool, make sure you do scan that QR code on your screen right now. This is one of the most valuable parts of Trade the Pool. It's called Video On Demand Library, a free resource filled with real trading stories, strategy, deep dives, and practical insights to help you grow. Whether you're looking to improve your entries, manage risk better, or just simply stay motivated. This is where experience meets education. And to make sure nothing valuable slips through the cracks, there's the note feature. Say something's wrong, worth remembering, click the note, write it down. It stays saved right there on your video. So that's a pretty cool thing there. Making your own notes, getting this all done with their VOD. Go join Trade the Pool and find out what that's all about. It's completely free at Trade the Pool. So scan your QR code right there. Yeah, look, Trade the Pool has been great. We want to thank Mitch for coming on here earlier as well. So, but we just bought more there on Apple. GRPN was the last time we heard anything about Groupon.
Never.
Right now. I didn't even know Groupon still existed, to be honest with you. Who's used a Groupon lately in the chat? Have you, Neil? I don't even know. No, but this is what I'm trying to.
I don't know.
I don't mean to be. I don't mean to be like mocking it, because obviously.
Look at this. Look at the daily chart.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to say, like, this is a huge move up here. I don't know if there's been some acquisition. Adara, maybe find out if there's anything on Groupon over the last like month or so. I mean, this is probably earnings and then just continued on. But like, this was 8. Yeah, okay, so they're just saying, yeah, an earnings, a continuation play. But there goes Groupon right now, man. I mean, maybe there's a short float involved with this. I don't know, but this has really got my interest right now, because we haven't talked about this in a minute, and I didn't even know they existed still. So people in the chat, short? I don't know, no one's saying they're using Groupon, so there it is. So, all right, let me just see what the short, oh, there we go. All right, I found it. 30% short float right there on GRPN. So I just, Adara's right on top of it. Like, that was going to be, we just like throw to Adara, and that was what she was going to say. So thanks, Adara, for checking that out, man. Great minds think alike, which is why I don't know why you're thinking like me. But there it is, Groupon with that 33% short float. Very, very interesting. All right, we'll look at that in a minute. But just because Apple, is positive today, it's negative against the market, right? And it's such a big holding in the market, that doesn't bode well for me, I guess. Like, I don't want to trade things that are against the trend or that are just going to be tougher to go, right? Nvidia is an easy play long. It was up in the market. It hit our levels. It was monstrous. It held everything. You know what? It's such a fantastic stock. I'm going to get another piece out at 44. $3.50 in the money on this play. We have to do something about it. So, so far, so good there with that. But Apple's a completely different beast. I'm going to try to get a little longer here against the 200. And then if we break that, 201.50, we're gone. I'm actually waiting at 201.75. So let's see if that can come in, which it looks like it's trying to do. We are emptying the clip on Nvidia like pretty good now. We have about 7 or 8% left of this trade. Palantir, we've left it alone. Oh, what? We missed that dip again? Okay, ridiculous what I'm doing over here. I'm going to get something out at this 132 area just because, and then we'll wait to see what happens after that. But there goes Nvidia, there goes Palantir, there goes Nvidia, and there not goes Apple. So far so good everywhere. There's Nvidia, just took the high of the day out, now up 3%. Thank you, Morgan Stanley. I haven't said that too often. Thank you for that upgrade and making it your top pick. Made it a pretty easy trade there today for me because we were already looking at it. We talked about this yesterday. Oh, Broadcom, Neil. This was a name that we had yesterday in the afternoon. I was like, if we can get 350 on this or 250 on this today, we should take it. There's the gift that just kept on giving all morning as well. There's our 250 level, and this is what it looked like yesterday. We banged our head against that numerous times right there and didn't break. Eventually, we wound up losing about 50 cents on that long because it didn't break. We played it back to the 50 period. It goes out at 248, closes around 249, and then today it's like off to the races with these guys reporting. I think it's later on this week or maybe even to next week, but interesting name there for sure.
They haven't reported yet?
Yeah, they've not reported yet. That's the interesting thing about it.
Yeah, you know what? It's you get to this point in earnings season and you're like,
yeah, you're like, why not?
They haven't reported yet. A little bit surprising to me. All right, so something happening. Apple just lost the bid.
Oh no!
Like literally at the moment that I jump in. Oh, I know what just happened. First, I have to get back into OKLO. Give me a second here because I just saw Apple lose a bid. I'm like, oh, why am I not out of it? And it was actually Oklo, which I had just jumped into. So I'm going to jump back into Oklo, but we just lost a bit on Apple. We'll slap the fail as that loses VWAP. Now it's just about waiting for 200. And 200 has been like the up-down level. 201 is where the pre-market low is, but I'll zoom it out so you can see it. 200 level, that's where support started out yesterday, and then you go back to Friday resistance levels on Apple. So not looking that strong. Let it get to those lows. Oklo has now held the line at 51 for quite some time here and is now breaking out the channel. I had to redraw the trend line. I didn't really draw it all that well, so we have the top of the wicks in here, but it has broken trend. If this can hold above 51, it starts to look a heck of a lot better. And Robinhood, here we're just going back to Adair again.
Nvidia.
Robinhood just went back in through the high. It's got a very nice looking, finally you can draw a good trend line, which is supporting our 7 level. I'm buying the dips on this trend on the 3-minute, and then we're getting out if it breaks this trend line. Hopefully we can get a 71 move here on Robinhood as it's a blue sky setup for the one that is hooded. It's just a good looking stock, man.
Yeah, we love that. I know you got out of Apple. We're still holding on strong with this one, 201.50. We're going to wait. It just got into the 90s again, or close enough. It got, 85s there. That is where the 200 period moving average is. So I don't like the fact that we failed off of that. So watch out here for 201.50 coming in now for Apple. We just were like mentioning that Nvidia seemed to be losing it a little bit. So we take another out there around 141.05. Now about 5% left of this trade. It's 10:30 and we're getting lighter on everything. It's been a monster day so far. Let's see if we can continue it. Palantir trying to get into that level as well. We actually missed that out at 132 there as well. So a couple bad moves recently for us, but it's definitely not a bad morning as we continue to rock and roll here today. We're green, and it's been a good one, that's for sure. Let's see if we can stay green, though, in the next half hour, see if we can find out some more moves. I'm offering some Nvidia at 141, and then there it is. Do we get that? Well, I'm not actually, there we go. Okay, there it is. Now we get it. All right, let's go back over to the desk. It's 10:30. We haven't talked about crypto at all. 106 now for Bitcoin. Hopefully Apple's going to moon by the time we get back. Let's go to Adair and find out what's going on with crypto.
Nice little look here. Bitcoin, let's see how many days. This is looking like our 4th green day, potentially, if we can hold this. And as Sean mentioned, we are just shy of 106 right now. I'm seeing 105.9 here, almost 10, basically but 106 here on the trading view chart. But on this daily chart, after making these new all-time highs around at a 112,000 level, we're still making these lower highs. Let's see if we can break out of that and continue and resume this beautiful uptrend we had bouncing off these mid-April lows just above that 72,000 level. Let's talk here about some of these other names. Bitcoin, of course, up on the day. Ethereum, though, up 4%, nicely above that 2,600 level. We've got XRP up 3%, Solana up 5%, Dogecoin up 2.5%, Cardano up 2.5%. So Bitcoin actually underperforming some of these other crypto names today, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, it's disappointing. No questions asked. But I mean, I think we're just in a didn't really talk about this, but you're just in a bit of a consolidation phase. And when I look at IBIT on this 15-minute, I don't see anything terribly wrong with it right now. I think you're about to get, I looked over because I'm like anticipating that Joe would be in a trade because I know he likes his IBIT, and this is breaking out a rounded bottom above this 60 level. I think a retest of 108 would look pretty good to me. So a nice little rally here on BTC, as that seems like the kind of break Joe would have. But I'll maybe look back at that 60 level and see if I can find any confluence with it. But it wasn't part of the trade plan, so I'm not going to jump on over to it just now. Alphabet was and is still part of the trade plan. Tried it underneath VWAP, but it never really took hold as the market started to gain strength. It also couldn't get back to the 168 short level, still kind of dancing around. I don't want to, I'm either playing it underneath the volume weighted average price on weakness, or we're going to let it get back and really retest some of those highs. The market's still somewhat trending to the upside. I think playing a little bit of patience here on Google is going to make some sense before we jump back into that trade. We're just in Oklo, which we started with before, and then Robinhood, which is trying to play trend back into its high at 71. Chill Vibe says MU 100 incoming. I don't know what was going on with Micron yesterday, but whatever it is, maybe it's doing it again. What is so strong with Micron right now? It's up 2 points. I mean, the market's strong and Nvidia is strong and the chips are strong, but it was program buying on it yesterday. It's now through $100 and looking incredibly strong one more time. And on the daily chart, this is screaming breakout as well. So unless there's some kind of story we're missing which says you shouldn't join this trend, on the 15-minute, there's a severe lack of red candles on the stock the last couple of days. Something's up with Micron, and I think you just try to manufacture a long in here somewhere. It doesn't even make any sense. Maybe 100 should just be where we go. We'll see what it does in the next. If it does another 15-minute clean green bar above a 100, I think you want to look long. Or at least I would look long, but I'm not punching in any of those highs. I'm still dip buying on this trend in Robinhood, so that's what's coming in here next, giving it to that just underneath the 70 level as that continues to look relatively strong in here. But wow, Micron, that's a good one that you guys have been able to find. It was super strong yesterday too.
Yeah, Micro was fantastic yesterday. Just looking here, Apple tried to go there. It stopped again at 75. I was actually waiting at 80s to try to get something out for flattish, but looks like Apple wants to go down. This will be most likely our first L here today, and we only have one unit, so it's not a huge trade. Once it broke through there, then came back in, we didn't really want to average in until we got to 201.50, and that's where we are. So I just don't like the stock. We've broken now below. The market's trying to bleed down a little bit. We've already talked about emptying out on Nvidia, and that's kind of still holding up here for some reason. So I have many more outs here at 141 and change, and then we were lucky enough right there to get that Palantir. I'm flat on Palantir now. We just have one little spot left, and we're now bidding down lower here, 131.11, to see if we do get that. But it looks like right now the only position that I'm not worried about any position, but if there would be one, of course, it would be Apple, because we haven't been able to get anything out, and it goes to the downside. And you can always check out all of these plays on your own using the eSignal platform. Make sure you do scan that QR code that we do have right there on the screen. This is what I've been using for over 25 years. It's eSignal, right? It's all the back testing, the reliability. When I used to trade European markets or anything like that, we definitely use eSignal to our advantage, because you can entitle whatever markets you want, whether or not it be Amsterdam. Plus, you can connect over 50 plus brokers worldwide, automatically trade off your charts, trade using eSignal, right? So again, the scanners, everything like that, it really is a great tool that we use here every single day. And in fact, when it's not working, I have like a little bit of a panic attack. So we wait to see, always refreshing, making sure that we get the good stuff here with eSignal. So scan that QR code, grab your first month free on us, and then go from there. I enjoy it, able to travel with you. Again, it's eSignal, the best in the business for my money. And when your money is free, that's a good one there. Go who?
Go Amsterdam.
Go Amsterdam. Yeah, for sure.
It's just it's a big hub, right? So when we flew to Budapest, we stopped over in Amsterdam in both directions. So it was kind of random that's the market that you picked up. I still had no chance to see it. We were there for
to ASML.
Yes. Well, they're down today because of a downgrade.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, 'cause I know they're on that exchange over there. That's their primary.
I still got to see that city for real, but
over in Amsterdam. Yeah, me too. I want to see the water there and all that.
it looks. So they had we flew KLM.
Yeah.
So of course.
Yeah.
You know, they're Dutch. KLM's a Dutch airline, so they were showing like their instructional video, and it's got all these great images of Amsterdam. So you're seeing that on the flight.
Like,
like,
oh my
man,
God,
I got to get
there.
there.
People riding their bikes around everywhere.
Looks like a great city. Let's head on back over to the desk with Adair.
Here is a story on Micron. It doesn't explain this move recently because this just came out this morning, but basically Micron apparently announcing today that they've shipped qualification samples of the world's first 1Y node-based low-power, I guess this specific type of 5X memory. So this is going to be accelerating AI applications on flagship smartphones. So AI-related application here. Apparently, the first qualification samples are being shipped by Micron. Do make sure that you like and subscribe as we send you back over to the guys with the new Micron story, or old from this morning.
All right.
Well, either way, it's working.
Yeah, either way, Micron is hot fire. Right now, nice little move up there as Nvidia keeps going, and then there goes Apple. We actually get our 80 fill there, or 79 fill that we were looking for, just to relieve some of this pressure. Our average price is 79. So we're just getting out for flat, and sorry, our average price was 84. Now that we got some out there, we only got out 10%. So it just shows you that these were the much heavier prices that we averaged into. So right now we're down into here, considering we have a fill there, and then my average price right now is 79, which is right into here. Definitely loaded it back up into this area as we wanted to support the 200 period. It came crashing in there. So let's see if it wants to work now. If these futures go and Apple goes, and oh boy, this day is even. Well, it's not better than yesterday yet, but hopefully we do have that opportunity. Let me check out what's going on with the biggest of the bears, the Big Bear AI. We got to 440 last week, and then we actually were there this morning as well, up to 420, 421 right there as that just comes in, and then we started barcode right now around 380, 384, 385. So Big Bear AI not really doing the outside. Well, the volume is 36 million. I should actually see what the average daily volume is on this name so I can get maybe a little bit of a better read on that one. I want to check in on day 2 play of draft. Go Apple. I'm waiting at 90, then I'm waiting at O's, man. It needs to go. We'll see if we can almost put up a perfect morning here. That would be nice. This Apple trade is not a perfect trade. I'm really happy with the Palantir trade and the Nvidia trade and the HIMS trade. This Apple one is taking way too long to work, so I'm not happy with it, but you know, I don't ever like to average. I mean, we averaged into a spot where we're flat on it, but I don't, did not work. Basically. Yeah, DraftKings, nice move there. It looks like we do have a nice little bottom there that we can look at maybe potentially during around lunchtime, 33.50 or so. Looks like we based out there. Nice little flush down. You're always looking for those flushes and then a stop and then a rip, right? We got it on Nvidia really early, which is why we're long at that price right there. Nice to see Robinhood retook 70, so that's going to be good there. There it goes upside right there we like that 70 break. I actually didn't even look at Robinhood, so it was above 70 earlier, right? You're playing a pullback on that?
No, it did a break.
Oh, okay.
It did a failed break, which, come to my chart and we'll go to it there in a second.
Come on, Apple.
It did a failed break early on,
oh, yeah,
and then it retook it here at 70, which we didn't take that one. It failed it again, and then we grabbed it like the third time, which was only the second time for myself, and now it's kind of holding the trend. I'm offering right now on the north side of 50, which is a bit weird. A spoofer just showed up. I should have taken it on the south side of 50. Someone just showed up spoofing on this bad boy, it looks like, at the 50 level. I might get something out in the 40s if we can there. But it has been holding a nice little trend line. I'm not really giving it to the volume-weighted average price anymore. I want it to hold on to that trend. So from the open, there's your trend line. If it loses the trend, I jump out, and then I might look for VWAP. As now we can go to Adair. It's 10:40 already, everybody. Time for Sector Watch.
Tech here and some of these other larger cap names really bringing up this market. Look at Nvidia and Broadcom together here in electronic technology. Broadcom still hasn't even reported yet. You're going to get those earnings Thursday after the bell. Some of these other chip names as well trying to hold down the fort. Retail trade here, Amazon relatively flat, but Home Depot strong, even as Walmart and Costco lag a bit here. Producer manufacturing looking great. Tesla here trying to lead consumer durables to the upside. Energy minerals green across the board. Utility is still pretty strong. CEG very much off of its pre-market highs, but still up on the day on this Meta deal for nuclear power. Then we've got finance a little bit red, consumer non-durables a bit red, and technology services looking distinctly different, as what we might say here from the electronic technology sector. You've got Google and Meta both to the downside. So a little bit of, I guess, discrepancy here, difference, divergence, if you will, between how these two tech sectors are trading today, guys.
Oh, okay. I just want to say too, yesterday we bought some, today I bought some CRM in the pre-market. So that's flat. Oh, well, I guess it's, well, I guess we got filled right off the open. So I guess we're about flat on that name. And we talked about day two plays, day two plays, 3-day play there off of earnings. And again, like, I don't know where it's going or anything like that, Salesforce, but I do know that it's been a little bit beat up. We got the upgrade today, and I feel confident better with this trade because there's a definite out, right? This little bottom right there of 258, 259 off of earnings. I mean, I think that's the earnings low. I think if you break that, then obviously the market's starting to head to the downside because the stock-specific news is out, and we got upgraded today, so there's really no reason for it to come back below, even if you down-tick it just a little bit. There goes Apple. Let's go. What a morning, Neil, over here. But 255, 256, a drop-down zone there for me for CRM. So we're into that one. And then yesterday, and I don't know, it's not like I'm trying to talk out my book here because I do it every day, but AMZN we bought yesterday. We talked about that as well during the lunch hour, and it's flat. So right now we'll have to wait to see what happens with Amazon. Amazon was kicking nicely today. Man, that got up to 209, now fading right back into the 200 period moving average. So it's an oh boy kind of a trade right now if Apple can get going as we pick the bottom. We just got some good outs there. Our best out, actually, I can double check, looks like 88, sorry. Well, I still have a 99 there, so obviously that didn't fill. We'll wait to see if we can get back above VWAP. That's at 202, basically. So we need to get that move going there as we're out of half already of this trade. I told you I did not like it. We did not hold it. Lucky enough to be positive right now on Apple, but that's probably coming out. We're out of half of this right now. If we take down that bottom, we're out of this name. So Apple right now not performing well, that is for sure, as we wait for some Palantir. Nvidia, man, we might as well take another piece. I mean, this is it. Like, we traded with bigger shares. We're able to offer out different levels. So we're doing that now on Nvidia, getting less and less in on this name. There goes Apple. Just had a nice move back into the 80s again. I'm just going to scalp out another piece right now at 87 if we can. Well, now it turns around on us. So let's wait to see if Apple gets back up there. We'll see if we can get an out. But Apple right now definitely back and forth. A name, Neil, well, there it is. So nice out. Yes, good out there for us, or for me there. Meta. We talked about sometimes the acquiring company does not. They
don't like the spend.
Yeah, does not play well.
Well, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but I mean, Meta has a lot of money. It's not really that much money. I mean, it's just the move down right now. Some of these tech stocks are playing well. There goes Apple. Yes, sir. Okay, that's going to be a nice move. It still needs to break through 202, so let's get going. Just went to 95. But there's Meta looking bad, man. It's at 666 right now, Meta. So breaking lower, we'll see where that goes. There was another level on a stock that we talked about earlier that I was like, man, if we break this, it's gone. Don't remember what that was early on. If you guys remember it, I can go. It wasn't a big cap name.
Oh.
It was like that Elf. Let me see what Elf Beauty's doing. We had Elf Beauty, the Elf on that shelf the other day.
You've got to be kidding me, CoreWeave.
Yeah, no, Elf did not break that yet, 110. That was going to be a good level for us there. So, yeah, man, here we go. We're now 20 cents in the money on Apple. We just took a piece. Let's take a piece out again at 90 and watch and see what's going on. I heard you just say CoreWeave. That thing's probably
140 is about to break.
140
on CoreWeave. It's like 16% CoreWeave is up right now. 16%. Like, the stock just continues to be an absolute rocket ship. It was actually something I saw in the chat. People were mentioning it. SMCI also up 4% and looking incredibly strong as that continues to rally. SMCI, just going to give you a higher time frame. Look for a quick little second before I get back to Robinhood. It's filling in the gap. And, well, actually, it's filled in this gap. I wasn't here, but resistance was at like 43-ish. And when it gapped through, it immediately lost it. So 43 is still a big level. I just paid for locates in case you get some kind of a big reversal candle on the 15-minute there, because that's a big level here for SMCI. Robinhood is right back up at the top. So it's held on. holding a trend, and like every time I draw this trend line and hit save, it's been crashing my stock. It's been crashing my chart, so I'm not going to save the trend line. But you can see it's holding on to trend pretty well. If you connect it on the 3-minute, give it one more chance to close. I'd like it to be closing above the high. Every time it makes a fresh high this morning, it's been pulling back. This is looking a little bit better on this latest dip buy. So if it can close above, I'm going to let this one ride and start thinking about buying it a little further away from the 70 level here on the hooded one, looking pretty solid, at least as far as I can tell. But yeah, the new thing to look at for myself might be, like as the market keeps going high, it's not a new thing, it's Google. Google's on the list already. We took one swing at it and lost underneath VWAP, but the market's about to break out the top right here, and Google's not doing anything. It's got all kinds of resistance on 167.5, as you can see, and that's the prior low. So if we fail this high on the Nasdaq, then I look to short this one off this 167.5. If you can't get 168 again and it won't hold underneath VWAP, I want to play this relative strength one more time. There's a Perplexity rumor that Apple will be going with them ahead of Google search, over Google search. So seemingly a bad headline, but if we can fail it here, I want to be back into the short.
So thanks, Constantine, and thanks, everybody, for paying attention to some of the names that I'm in right there, because here comes Palantir. We just bid it. We are already sitting here. We talked about 131 before. It just comes up into the 20s, or we got 17s, 131, sorry. We just got 17s out, and I was waiting to see if it wanted to break. I was at 30s, and then it does not want to break 20. There's a seller, like an auto seller at 131.19. It is not breaking that level, and now they're pushing it back down. I think this name eventually pops again because the market's at highs and there's no point in Palantir being down 1%. But there's sellers on here. Every single time this tries to pop up, we don't have too much luck. So see, like, it just got down to 131. Let's see what happens now at 131.20. That's where I'm sitting at 131.20. That might be silly to sit at the exact level that you want. But there goes, so we'll wait to see on that one. But here goes Apple, man. There it goes. Yes, sir. Bang. I mean, great trade there for Apple. Now we're in the money, 30 cents on this one as it continues to rock and roll, man. Good day so far here today, that's for sure. There's 20s. Did we get that 20? No, we did not. Again, there it goes. Okay. Here we go. We just get a 20. I'm now at 25s to see if we can get out of some more. And then we'll let this name run to the high side, as we know Palantir can. Yes, sir. Wow, what a day again today, man. Apple up, HIMS up, Nvidia up, Palantir up. It's a 4 for 4 kind of day, and we are still making new highs in the market, and we're long everything. So hopefully the market can still continue to go higher. But Apple, there's the pullback off of 2 bills again. I'm going to offer some more out at 94. We get that fill. Now we're getting lighter and lighter on Apple, so that's all good. Really, Palantir is the one that's being special for me right now. Let's see if that one wants to go back up to the upside. Another sticky note right down right there of 131. So, I mean, it fell back in. When the levels hit, man, we got to be there to strike them. So that's what we did. Thanks for pointing that out to everybody in the chat. Apple, the only name in question, so let's offer some more out. We'll punch out some there at 93. We're long at 67. So, yeah, man, so far, so good. We're going to get ready for, oh, there goes Palantir. Oh, yeah, says Macho Man. As we get back up there to the upside again for PLTR, let's offer it out. Man, Neil, this has been a great morning here. Glad that you're having some that you're back now. Oh, Marvell is smoking. What's up, John? Yeah, I hope so, man. This is a smoking gun in my account right now. We're long around 60. I'll have to double check. You guys remember it was a day before earnings, 64.50, maybe 65.50. I'll double check in and get back to you guys in the afternoon. But right now, Marvell, nice move higher right there. It actually went down on earnings, so not much going on there. I'm going to take out another opportunity there at 91. But here we go, man. Let's get back there up to the high side now with Apple, with Nvidia, with Palantir. We'll come back for money talks, and then we got something special for Joe.
Yeah, before we find out what's for lunch, to spoil that segment, let's find out what's up with this U.S. dollar, because today it actually is up. Oh, sorry for the fail there. To be clear that we still have a bit of a downtrend, of course, coming from this pseudo double top we got back in early to mid-January, lower highs, lower lows, and of course the most recent lower high made in this pretty wicked candle here, no pun intended, that we got at the very end of May. We actually gapped up and closed lower. Michael Naw said yesterday in the market recap show with Sean and myself that the U.S. dollar might need to settle down for us to get a little bit of a sense of direction for stocks. Let's wait and find out if that is in fact the case, because right now, of course, this DXY is still being pretty violent. We had some comments coming this morning from Fed's Bostic. Around the same time that we got that better than expected JOLTS job number, Fed's Bostic being pretty cautious, but I would say pretty fair as well. He said that right now, at this point anyway, we haven't really seen the tariffs impact inflation in any kind of salient way. He also said, though, that at this moment he thinks it's best to be cautious, and he sees no reason to move rates in any direction as of right now. So Fed's Bostic very much arguing the hold case right now for these interest rates. We'll send you back to the guys and another segment. That's for lunch.
Yeah, thanks, Adara, for that. Yeah, I mean, we are just, lunch is coming. We'll get to that in a second. But Palantir off that 131. I mean, we're not expecting it to get right back up to the 50-period moving average. But I shouldn't say that because every single dip buy has gotten back to the 50-period moving average. So I'm going to take one more piece out here at 71 because we're right at that level. And I don't want to see that happen again, especially, all right, well, it is kind of happening. So I'm going to punch out some more there at 63s. We're still waiting at 70. And then, we only have a third left. So a third left right now of this position. Once we get out, we'll officially have a third left if we get that 70 fill, which we're at right now. We just got filled on something else. That was Apple, I guess, as Apple's just doing the best with the least again, because it's not really moving too much. We just put on, we only had, what did I tell you, 1.5 units. It wasn't like a huge trade down there, but that's definitely working out for us. Nvidia, wow, this Nvidia play, like, unbelievable right now. Almost $4 here. This is the trade that lasted absolutely all morning. For me, never a reason to get out there. We dip bought, just kept on ripping. We put our stops in. We talked about having our stops in, but now we're lighter and lighter on this one. So there goes Nvidia, there goes Palantir, there goes Apple. It is one hell of a day, and let's see how this day is getting, if it's getting any better or not with what is for lunch. Okay, here we go. Let's get that going right now and figure out what exactly is coming for lunch. All right, now that I loaded up, oops, I'm logged in as the wrong person. So I'm gonna have to log in as my other account to get this. All right, here we go, man. Today's Tuesday, June 3rd. We had fresh fruit bowls. We had egg and cheese sandwiches, some pastries, some bagels and stuff like that this morning. That's every morning. I'll stop reading that. That's always the same. But today we actually get a lunchtime favorite. Definitely a lunchtime favorite of mine, and it is a very, very typical lunch. I had a great one of these in Rome on the streets, and it was a lovely sandwich. So right there, we have assorted sandwiches today. Egg salad, chicken salad, some pastrami over there, some turkey for my guy, Joe. I don't see Montreal smoked meat for you, but maybe that's with this pastrami. We can see what that looks like there today. And then, wow, Nvidia now. $4, 142 coming into play right there. Boy, oh boy, to hold that trade. And then crudité, which we found out that's just a nice little assortment of veggies. There was some hummus is coming in there. Ranch dressing as well. And then, of course, Neil, it's going to get us. It's going to get us bad because Randy's here. Fresh baked cookies.
Oh, that's a problem.
I
ate a lot of pastries.
The cookies.
I can't touch those.
Are a problem.
I ate a lot.
They are
very,
very tasty around here. I think they're just from Costco, but anyways, they're really tasty. All right, 131 in change. We'll try to stay away from that there, but which we will not. We will definitely be having one. All right, so there it is, 131.70s, man. Let's just get some more out on Palantir. I did not think we'd rip that high. We just backed off of 132 with only 4 minutes to go, man. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a great day here. The market's really responding well to everything. We bought some more Nasdaq last week, and some of the positions, the positions that we have aren't really doing that great right now. Marvell's not doing that much. We just showed you Amazon that we bought. We bought Eli Lilly in exchange for Google. Eli Lilly's not even above that 750 level until right now. We just look at it right now, 750. So this is where we're long Eli Lilly, letting that one try to cook as well. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this makes sense, man. This is why you got to own the stock, right? Costco's chocolate chip cookies have crack in them. Yeah, I mean, most likely, yes.
I mean, probably not.
No, probably yes, man. Just like the Tim Hortons coffee apparently has crack and cocaine in it as well. That's probably not true. That would be a little too expensive, I think, for many people's tastes. But there it goes. Just new highs and everything, man. Nvidia is really smoking, 142. Apple's trying to go, but not really. We're almost out of Apple. And then Palantir, man, just I'm going to hold all of that. I'm going to be going to the gym a little bit later, so we'll be sitting here trying to trade a little bit throughout after the midday show. So I'll be here with the Bash Brothers, and then we'll figure out the Bro Show. starting. Neil, that's a new name. They're starting.
The Bro Show?
Yeah, starting in 3 minutes. The Bro Show.
Okay.
Kicking off. So
I feel that.
yeah, they're great friends. They talk
The
about
bros.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's because the Bash Brothers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
At the end
so,
of the day.
that's it, man. The brothers. So the Bro Show coming up soon.
like it.
CoreWeave.
It's a lot
Tariff
of
and
all these chips.
Joe, like CoreWeave is nuts.
Well, CoreWeave's breaking trend back down right now. Look, I have no intention of shorting CoreWeave. I said if I took something, it would be SMCI off the 43 level, and SMCI from VWAP is now challenging its trend line as well. It feels like this is going to be next. I didn't even draw that very well. You know what? That matters. Let me just get rid of that. Do it properly. Do it properly, as Tony G says. We break the trend line. I'm looking short into VWAP on SMCI, not CoreWeave. Someone said they think Oklo is bottoming. Well, it's holding above that downward trend line that didn't hold. It tried to break it before. I took the shot at it and it broke the low. And now it's holding above this little bear flag, I guess is what you want to call it. So it broke the bear flag in the other direction to the upside and looks like it's made a bit of a bottom. So I have it with a stop underneath 51.20, and I'm looking for, like, VWAP's $2 away here. Like, obviously, well, sorry, check that. VWAP is $2.50 away here, but if it can break 52, that would be a good place to try to do some adding. Robinhood is stalled again at $71. It just can't seem to break out past that 71. That's higher lows the entire way through, but at some point it's going to lose this trend, and we're going to have to jump out of it. The stop is now at 70.65 on Hood, and a clean break of 71 I will not be taking because it's 11 o'clock. So, you know, I'm not taking a breakout at this time of day. We'll continue to play along the trend line with Robinhood. Market's looking incredibly strong at this point, so I think you want to be buying dips and looking for the long play. Even Google. Well, okay, never mind. 2 minutes ago, Google was above the volume-weighted average price. I was about to say, well, now it is back above the volume-weighted average price and starting to look a little bit better than it was before. MU and NWeb retesting the 100 level. This is one where I wanted to see program buying like it did before, and all green on that 15-minute. This last candle looks a little bit toppish, not as strong as it did before. I think the next trade for me is going to be the reversion on SMCI because it's still having trouble with that 43 level. So this closes failing underneath 43 on the 15-minute, and I look for the reversion short on SMCI. As a matter of fact, it's kind of breaking it right now. I might nibble in and give it to the prior bar high because I wouldn't want to give that all the way to the top because technically on the 15 it hasn't broken the trend yet. So I'll get some 85s now. On the 15, it hasn't closed underneath, but that's a trend break on the 3 right there, and we'll give it to the prior bar high, which is 43, like 43.12, 43.13.
11 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
Yes, no, it doesn't. Whatever. These guys are good to go over there. I'm sure that they don't mind this little extra talk. There goes Apple right now, 202.20, man. We did it. So it was another one. We have 3 today. We have Apple, we have HIMS, we have 4, we have Nvidia, and we have Palantir. All really, really working out for us. So we'll go out. We'll actually wind up having a little bit of a better afternoon this today or morning, sorry, today than we wound up having yesterday. So it just worked out real well, man. And I just tweeted it out, like, I cannot believe this move there for Nvidia. Like, wish we had sort of thought about that, but huge move up there into 142, still going higher there. Nvidia, man, for the dub right there. Big time movement. All right, man, it's 11 o'clock. Great to have Neil back. Hope the morning, it seems like it went fine, right? Sometimes you get that little rust coming out, especially when you don't know levels, you know.
Well, that's the one thing.
Like, where's Tesla now?
There are a few stocks that, like, I looked at and I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, for sure.
Really? Like, well, the biggest one, I think the biggest one was Robinhood. I was like,
yeah,
you gotta be
$70 for Robinhood. Did that work out? Did that work out for you, that trade, or did it break back down below?
It's still there.
It
just can't
I don't
hold.
even know.
It can't break 71.
Okay, that's great.
They just went to 71.01 on a break and pulled right back again. So, I mean, unfortunately, this stock does not seem to want to break out that 71 level, but it's holding on to the trend. Like, it's going to go. Like, I have the trend stop. I actually have to move it. And,
yeah, whatever.
I'll just punch out manually if it breaks, but they got to move it back into the 70-60 level. As we'll go to the midday, boys. We'll grab some sandwiches and some salad, that thing that we usually do when you eat lunch.
Something like that.
And we'll see you back in 2
I just want tuna.
I don't want tuna.
Boom! Greetings Greetings and salutations, beautiful people.